Wow. I was going to say everybody.
What?
Rivals
What happened there?
and the market just disappeared. I'm telling you guys, he was there. We were just talking. He did say he was trying the old laptop. If it fails, he's going to go back to the other one. So I reckon that's exactly what's happened, mate. I don't know what's wrong with that laptop. Every time it goes live, he seems to pretty much like his side, really. Every time they go out to actually play, they disappear, mate. So we're going to say hi to a few people. I hate Essendon, like just flat out, just like there's no hiding behind the bush there, just straight out. I hate him. Has he got the Dodo internet? And there's Big Ange is in there. So everyone's here he is. I reckon I can see him coming back. Let's have a look. Here he is. All right, can I just do something because shut up.
That's better.
That's better. All right, let's see if I can work this out. I want him in the right position or else I'm not happy. No, that's not right. Fuck off. I'm going to get you in first, and then I'll get you in. That's better.
Come on, guys. What's going on here?
What do you mean what's going on, man? You come in and then you just disappear, mate. Just like
what happened to you, mate?
Every fucking year, just like your team. He just disappeared. You did warn us, but.
Yeah.
Well, while we got you there, how are you, Marco?
Yeah, good, guys. Good evening, guys. And looking forward to tonight's chat. It's going to be really interesting. So let's see how we go, fellas. Let's see how we go. Come on. Let's bring it on, boys.
Oh, we might have a couple of bombers on here. And Manny, how are you going?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm doing well, Rocco. Bit chilly today. Been raining. I've actually spent the whole day lying on the couch, just relaxing, really, just chillaxing there with my dog Zeus. We've been watching some footy replay and spent a bit of time watching another flawless game by the Magpies versus the Hawks, but a little bit later about that. But a very warm good evening to all our viewers out there. And Liam, you had it and you let it go, my friend. How you going?
We'll get there, mate. We will get there. It's been a good week of footy, to be honest, man. Got to shout out my boys East Perth on Monday. That was awesome. Winning in the derby in the wet. It's been wet over here. It's been really warm though, so I don't know, kind of confusing. It's all happening. We're at gigs last night. I'm doing exams today. But favorite part of the week, Fourever Rivals. We're here. Let's go.
What are you doing? What are you doing for your exams there, Liam? What are you studying, buddy?
This one's a marketing one. Marketing fundamentals. It's funny. The case study that I'm working on is actually a company from here, Swan Valley, and I know the lady who runs it. So it's kind of like, oh, that's really weird. So I might have to go down the road and ask for some help.
Give up the good study,
like
mate.
Marketing. We're gonna see probably one day Liam in the head position at the AFL.
That's the dream, mate. That's the end goal.
We will need someone who knows what they're fucking doing in there, because I'll tell you what, man, it's a
how you doing, Rocco?
I'm all right. A bit tired. We had the big 24-hour over the weekend, so thanks for everyone for joining in. It was very successful. Me, Marcella, and my daughter, we made it through the 24 hours non-stop, no sleep. So it was good, man. So everyone was popping in, and
thank God you had that. Thank God you had your daughter there, mate. She was the rose among the thorns.
Yeah,
the rose among the thorns.
Like my money's there, mate. Looks like you've got a bit of a around the side there. What's happening here, mate? You trying to keep up with the young generation or something, mate? Keep going.
I've upped the standards, mate.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, the boy and I went for some haircuts to celebrate his 16th birthday on Saturday, and he said, Dad, how about we go and get a cool cut? And then I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's go and get a cool cut. That's something that we
Mate,
try
what you
and do
looking at?
every now and then. You know, they say that, you know, a nice fresh cut makes you look good. I mean, I reckon I need a little bit more than a haircut to look good. I thought I'd get in there before Rocco throws his 5 cents. But, yeah, so that's what's happened.
Well, at least you got some hair to still cut, Manny. At least you got some hair to still cut, mate.
Yeah. No, thanks very much. Yeah, no,
I'll
that's
tell
all
you
good.
one thing, mate. That's fucking a rough head, bro,
It's
man. You
gone
need
already,
more than
boys.
that to fix that up, mate. I'll just tell you that much, mate. Yeah, of course. You've got nothing to say. Of course you haven't.
Good work on the stream, though, Rocco. It was cool. I tuned in a fair bit, actually.
Yeah, it
I
was
think I'm not
24
off
hours.
the Champions League.
We watched plenty of sport. We watched all the footy on Saturday, everyone together. We watched some F1 qualifying. We watched some soccer. Of course, we watched City and all those fraud supporters that went over to City now and have been jumping up and down. I know Manny's one of those fraud supporters. So is Snapper. Don't you worry. I'll fucking give it to all you blokes, man. All your fraud supporters. But, yeah, that was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, so, and I don't watch a lot of soccer. That was disgraceful. Here they go. Who's that for?
Well, these are the this is the one of the new recruits that we were talking about last week. That's come on board with the Essendon Football Club. So he's actually looking forward to maybe getting a chance to play against Carlton. Who knows?
Yeah. So anyway, that was weird. We just were talking about soccer, and then we went over to that. So again, Manny's not listening. He only lives in his own world and thinks that it revolves around him. But so we watched that. We watched the big. Is it the Champions Cup or we've?
It's called the Champions League. There, it's called the Champions League. There, Rocco. If you're going to have a conversation about it, not what you're talking about. Champions League, mate. The Champions League.
Oh, sorry, I got one word wrong. Better than getting a fucking whole 2 years wrong with the way.
And congratulations to PSG. I'm actually disappointed because I'm an Inter fan and I wanted Inter to win, but you know, the better side won and they won quite convincingly. So
yeah, they got absolutely rammed up the arse, man. That's what they got. So we watched all those sports and we kept on going. So it was good. It was a good thing to do, the 24 hours. And thanks for everyone for joining us. People, Liam was in there. Here's Liam. Liam was in there. There was Stuart and there was Matula. Everyone was in there at one stage or another.
Slobbo's thrown a couple of dollars towards your way there, Rocco.
I'll get to that, mate. I'll put it up. Right. I don't need you to organise the chat, man. I've got this all under control, mate. All good, mate.
And can I also just say on a serious note, I was watching your show for a little while there, Rocco. I just want to my deepest condolences to one of our viewers. She's a wonderful viewer, our good Greek friend Matula. Our deepest condolences, Silipitiria, to you and your family. And that's it. I just wanted to just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to get to that. Yeah. So, yeah, we said it last night, but all condolences. She did say that the Blues have to win for her dad. So I think it's already sealed, done, and delivered. Mark, it's all over, mate. We're going to do it for Matula's dad, so it's all done, mate. So so condolences and well, hopefully we put a smile. We got Scotty Tompkins in there, and we got Peter Bluebag. Just one forever rival took the mantle. Yes, one took the mantle this week. We got Sammy. We got Pinball Pete. He looks like he's a Bomber supporter. Go Bombers on Sunday. Where are you going to go? You're going to go nowhere. You're going to go nowhere. What do we got here? Go Baggers. Yeah. He hates Carlton. Well, that's nice of you.
We all do.
That's what we're all about. You lose there. Jay. Adam. What else have we got here? Mate, there's a few. And like you said, Slovo. Rocco, Woke Manny, and Marcus and Liam. So what he's saying hello to Rocco, Woke Manny, which we all know is woke, and we'll find out soon enough about that, and Marcus and Liam. So thanks for the $3, man. To Slobo.
Slobo, mate.
What else we got here? He's got the real Western Derby next week. Warragul and Durham. And my Jet Lamb will carry. Jet Lamb.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I know Jet Lamb. He was an old fella.
He's a bit of a cult hero for you guys.
Yeah. He had one good game when he held Sicily and got him upset, and then now he coaches at Durham, I think. What do we got here? High Hall. Yep. Carlton Blazing Blues. He's someone new. Mark Marcucci. He's a star. Howdy Forevers. All right.
Mick Marcucci. Mick Marcucci. Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Mark, but that's okay.
Is that what
I'm here to correct you. Oh, good.
Fucking hell. If I had to do that to you, it'll be just a whole fucking show of correcting you.
And Warwick was playing against Druin.
Druin, that's what I said.
No, Druin. Druin. Yeah, that's all right. You'll get there. Oh, good.
What did I say?
Well, you definitely didn't say Druin.
Well, what did I say? If I didn't say that, what did I say?
You said Durin. You said Durin. You said Durin, but it's Druin. It's okay.
It's Druin.
Shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, mate. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're a dickhead. What an idiot. You're an absolute wanker. Fucking
bit of ginger beer.
How about you just worry about trying to get your facts right about footy? Don't worry about trying to fucking correct me.
You bring it on, my boy. Bring it on.
Bring it on. We will bring it on just in a sec, man. You know what we've been discussing. We're going to bring it right on, mate. I hope you have no idea. Oh, yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about, mate. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Before we go on, it's here. Of course, Peter Bluebagger already sets us up with the pictures for the week. So here he goes. We've got them already done. Look at this. Look at this. We've got the Fourever ones, how we spent them. There I am, sitting there for the 24-hour, just sitting there. Liam, honourable loss there, mate. Just sitting there.
Pretty much how I look,
stupid smile. And then you got the Bombers there with, he's got a picture of Carl next to him. And there you go, Brisbane Lions storming home. They did in the last quarter. And the GWS win by whisker. They did also. Hey, I was barracking for you blokes, mate. Don't you worry. No. I was barracking for you blokes.
I saw the stream, mate. I think Mars or someone coming out with the big Giants foam finger. I was like, I remember that.
Fan, and plus, I think he had money on the Giants. So don't take it personally. When you got money on it, what you do. All right. You know what we're going to do? Manny and Mark look like Cabbage Patch Dogs. You do look like Cabbage Patch Dogs. You do. You actually do.
Thanks, Joy. Thanks very much.
Hey, Joy, why don't you jump on a little bit later on the
later on. We'll put on.
So we're gonna have a look at what kind of fruit you look like.
Yeah. I'm gonna put up the link a little bit later, so we'll jump on. And all you guys that's true. All you guys that with special comments there, jump on, mate. Put your face to it and let's hear. Ask a question. Don't get intimidated. Ask a question. You might even just want to talk about something that happened in the game. Ask a question. Mate, we're up to it, right? So we'll get this going. All right, let's do this. We're here for this. All right, Forever Footy, that's what we're here for. So let's get started. There's been a few things to talk about this week. One thing that I'm very passionate about is the AFL. Naturally the AFL, but the people who run the AFL. So I thought that this week here there was some structural moves this week, and I found it quite interesting about these moves. So what I've done is I normally do a Rocco's rant on the jumper punch, but I'm going to do a Rocco's rant on Forever Rivals. How's that sound, mate? So
you did mention that.
Wow. Because I'm really passionate about this, because you know how I feel about The wrong people in the wrong positions, mate.
That wasn't on the agenda from what I could see, Rocco. You left the gap there, but obviously there was. There it is.
What would you, Manny? What would you know about agendas, mate? Tell me what you organised on this show for this week.
What did I organise on the show?
Tell me what one thing you did to get this show up and going this week.
Well, Rocco, I don't want to break your heart, but the one thing you keep saying to both myself, Marco, and Liam, we're just guests.
And exactly right. So why would you have an agenda?
Usually what you do is you let us know that what we're going to be talking about. But, I'm looking forward to your Rocco's rant.
Are you sure you're going to let me speak now? Because you want to do any more comedy acts there, mate? Or is
No. I'm really looking forward to it.
This agenda, show us what was on this agenda, or was that just a fake bit of paper you had in your hand? Show us.
No, you want to talk about
show us what's written on there.
The Tasmanian Devils.
Show us what's written on there.
It's the writing is too small. I mean, by the time I get
it, put up to the camera, we'll be able to see it. Are you lying? Are you lying?
I've written a few things there. I've written a few things that I don't want our viewers to see.
Just cover it up and show us the main bit. Yeah. So you're lying again.
Cheers, Rocco.
Are you lying again, just like you did with your membership, going to the game, knowing about the game? Continue lying. You know what you should do, actually? You should actually work for the fucking AFL. That's how bad they're going.
Well, you say that they're actually doing they're doing bad, Rocco, but the signs are there clearly showing that they've got an increase in memberships. They've got an increase in support pace. They've got an increase in how many people go to the games. So they must be doing something right.
That's a natural growth. We could go into
natural growth. Well, you can't say natural growth because history shows you, that there is natural growth, but the Essendon Football Club has actually their membership has gone down by about 6%. Was it 6%? Richmond's support base has actually increased, even though they're struggling at the moment. So it happens. It happens.
So you reckon the AFL's going all right, do you?
Look, I think the AFL, like any business,
just because the membership has grown, and just because membership.
You ask me a question.
I'll finish, and then you can answer it.
All right.
Just because membership has grown, which is natural growth, just because TV viewing has gone up, and that's again natural progression, right? What else has gone good about the AFL that you think that's gone ahead this year?
Oh, look, I think there's a number of issues that are there. You can't hide behind what's there, Rocco. There's definitely problems there. But like any business, there's a matter of taking on these responsibilities. And I think the AFL is starting to take on these responsibilities. And now, from what I heard, was it today? It wasn't announced today. Yeah. The umpires have actually put something in writing towards the AFL in regards to the fact that they feel that they've been misjudged with what happened with the incident with Lockie Schultz.
So what does that say?
There's going to be problems. There'll be a lot of problems. And you know what? When you're in an industry like the AFL, be prepared to be scrutinised. And that's why I'm really looking forward to listening to Rocco's rant this evening.
All right, let's not beat around the bush here, my friends. The AFL isn't fooling anyone with this executive restructuring spin. They just split Laura Kane's job into two because it was some clever, forward-thinking strategy. They did it because the footy fans, the clubs, and even the people inside the game have had enough of the way the things have been run. Let's look at the facts, Manny. Umpiring standards hit an all-time low. No consistency, no accountability. Every week, it's a different interpretation, and no one knows what's going on. The AFL actually had to bring on a new head of umpiring mid-season just to settle things down. The match review system has become a circus. It's got players getting weeks for minor incidences. Then others are walking away scot-free for worse. Willie Rioli case, a complete shambles. The AFL had backtracked after public backlash. That's not leadership. That's reactive damage control.
Yeah.
Player movement rules, tribunal decisions, are all over the place. 1 week something's legal, the next thing it's reportable. Clubs are getting different answers depending on who they ask. Where's the clear direction? Where's the strong, consistent governance? Poor communication, lack of transparency. Fans and clubs don't know where the game is heading. The MRO decisions come out with no proper explanations. Rule changes pop up mid-season. The innovation feels like it's being made up on the fly. What's happening to engaging with the footy community? Now, let's be honest. Laura Kane was put into this job not just because of her resume, but because the AFL wanted a gender diversity in leadership. Fair enough. We support that. But it's a results-driven industry. You are in charge of the most critical parts of the game, footy operations. Then you got to deliver, and she did it. So now they're trying to spin it like it's some sort of strategic evolution into the department. Please, bro. They took the footy performance side offer, umpiring, the MRO, innovations, and also game management. What's left? Admin tasks, running the competition. And now she's got someone above her handling all the real stuff. But let's not forget about Andrew Dillon, the current CEO of the AFL, was appointed on a role based on his strong credentials and years within the organisation. But since stepping into the job, it's become clear that he struggled to meet any demands and scrutiny that comes with leading the game. This week, the AFL executive restructure looks more like a strategic move to shift accountability. And the heat is off Dillon and spread across the roles. As he heads the AFL, he should be upfront, taking more responsibility and direction and of the state of the game, not stepping back while others take the fall for not restructuring. That's a cleanup job, not a demolition That's a cleanup job, a demolition in disguise. You can dress up this any way you want, but this is what happens when you put the wrong people in the wrong job. The fans know it, the clubs know it, and now finally the AFL have admitted it, even if they won't say it out loud.
Massive statement.
I got clapped up, Miles. That's fantastic. That was. Oh boy.
Yeah, mate.
Now, if you think that those people were put in there and they were the right people in the position, we all know they weren't. We all know that the AFL, just like a lot of clubs, are a boys' club. You know that. Dillon was put in that position because he's one of the boys. You know that Brendan Gale wanted that job, and Brendan Gale would have probably been the ideal person to take on that job. But no, they put in people that they can control. Second of all, we know that Laura Kane was put in there because they want this gender diversity in an industry, and they want it in all industries. And I've stated this before, and I'll state it again. It does not work. You don't put people in because of gender, race, or religion. You put them in because they are the best people in the job.
So that's my point there, Rocco. That's my point. At the end of the day, like we're blaming a nice young lady by the name of Laura Kane that probably was hired to take that position. But we all talk about the AFL. The AFL did this. The AFL did that. Who is the AFL? Well, who is the AFL? There's no names. Is it a committee? Is it a board? Who is the AFL?
So an AFL is a organisation that was put in there by all the clubs to run the organisation.
So they make the decisions to choose, the positions of what they request. Yep. Is that right? So they decide the clubs have given them that power. Okay, so they've made the decision to hire this lady here, Laura Kane, for that position, right? And obviously she wasn't probably fitted to that position, obviously. So where's the blame to the AFL? Why aren't we talking about who's in the AFL, what's their names, and maybe put their heads on the chopping board?
And this is why I'm putting it on Andrew Dillon also. He's taken his handball the responsibility away a bit, and he's put Laura a bit under the bus here, right? Yeah. Because she was probably never capable of doing the job. It was just too big, man. This is a big job to do. It is. She's a 35-year-old woman.
I think to be fair, I mean, you're talking about Laura Kane, but she's a well-educated lady. She's not just she's a lawyer. Yeah, so let's not forget about that. So she's very well educated. Well, she did so well. She did so well for the AFLW, right? And she clearly showed that
that's a shambles too.
She's got a really good, strong track record on that. And maybe the reality is that when she was at North Melbourne, she had the right people, because they're talking about Essendon's coach, who was at the time at North Melbourne, who was was really supportive of her achievements and etc. So when Laura came over to the AFL, it wasn't a case of she was chosen. There was a number of interviews that they have to go. It's not like, we're just going to get you because you're a woman. That's garbage. The reality is that the AFL felt that, this is probably going to be something that's going to, she's showing that she can do the job, but how well is she going to be able to do the job at that next level? And the reality is, and I agree with what Rocco said, I think that she was thrown in the deep end. I think that she was given too much responsibility, and right now she's being used as the scapegoat, and that's typical of. And I think at the moment, Dylan has a lot to answer, because I give Laura Kane 6 months, and I reckon in 6 months' time she will show that through her learning and through the ongoing experience that she has, I reckon she'll do really well on this. But I agree with Rocco.
She's not going to be doing really well out of it, because they've taken all the responsibilities away.
Well, no, they've taken certain responsibilities.
They've taken all the responsibilities away. She's now in charge of the AFLW, the AFLW bloody reserves. She's in charge of even the lower level than that. They've taken away all the main responsibilities.
No, she's also part of the AFL. There's something to do with, I think, with mental health and all that kind of stuff. So
that is admin stuff, man. All the main roles they are passing it on to someone else. They've never done that. They have never done that, right?
So is there a law against that?
Say she's done well for the AFLW. The AFLW is not traveling well at all. We get more viewers watching this show than people go to the AFLW. It's not traveling at all. But I do agree that they put her in a position, and she has now become a scapegoat, because the whole organisation has to be accountable here, not just her.
Rocco, I agree with what you're saying, but you also need to remember that she was committed to player welfare. Yeah. That was one thing that she was very, very huge advocate. Yeah. And we know that because she's the one she's dedicated her in trying to help with AFL's healthcare unit, which is focusing on mental health, on concussion management, So, and she's also overseeing the league's illicit drugs policy. So, these are things that, I personally think that Dylan's done the right thing. Sometimes you've got to throw a few extra people there in order to get the job done. I mean, okay, and let's not forget, the AFL is a male-dominated, yeah? And all of a sudden, a female comes on board and, we're going to sit there and we're going to, say, because she got the job because of... I don't agree with that. I honestly believe that...
Well, you might, but I mean, the AFL and all organisations have agreed that they want more diversity in the workplace. Don't say I don't agree with it. They've come out and said that they want more diversity.
What I'm saying is, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Now, let me talk. I'm telling you now, having gender diversity in the workplace does not work.
Yes, it does.
It does not work.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
I can tell you right now, in the industry that I'm in, 20 years ago, right, I probably had 5% of female drivers. Now I've got 30%, maybe even more percent of drivers, and I can tell you that they are more professional at times than some of the male drivers.
It does not work, Manny, because it's a simple fact, right? You are not getting the best people. You are getting the best people in a certain group, and that is not right. Yes, you are, Manny. If you're targeting, why are we targeting? I've said this before. Why are we targeting female? Why is it gender? Why don't we do religion diversity? Why don't we have?
I don't think we're targeting female. I don't think it's easy as that. No, I think that if at the end of the day,
I think it is,
a female. If a female puts in for a job, and she interviews well and she's capable of achieving or getting that job, good luck to them. I honestly believe that.
Yes,
I believe
that. If they are the best person, I totally agree.
That's right.
I totally agree. But not when they put it out there saying that they want gender equality in a workforce.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes, because you're not getting the best person, Manny.
How
is that fair to the man, right, who probably was more qualified, but they want to go in a certain direction?
No. Again, I go back to what I said, Rocco. They made this so that they want to bring more females on board, right? But they're going through the same process, the interview process. So if they find that this person, she's capable of doing the job, they'll give her the job.
Well, obviously,
it's not a matter of
the AFL got it wrong, mate. They've got it wrong. It's within 6 months, and she hasn't got that position anymore.
I reckon they got them both wrong.
Well, that's right. So we can't find that person that's applied for the job and got the job.
That's right.
At the end of the day,
we've got to change with the times.
We don't say any names because it's private.
You're wrong here, man. It's never worked anywhere, man. You don't have to change yourself.
Maybe she should have got a job in directly just going to the
diversity in religions? Do we get diversity in races? What do we do? Do we even everything up? What are we picking next? Let's just get the right people in the job. Doesn't matter who you are.
It doesn't matter your gender as long as you are the right person.
Exactly. That's all we're asking for.
Whose fault is it?
We've got that.
So whose fault is it? Pretty simple. Whose fault is it? The AFL.
The AFL.
What? That's what I want to say is we're halfway through a season and we're making this massive change already.
I know.
That's terrible. There's got to be something going on. They're not even waiting until the end of the season. That's it. We're doing this now.
Well, that's our shit because
now. How bad is it behind all?
Because the public and everyone are in an uproar now. They've had to make these decisions, or else they will look so bad. I mean, really, the umpiring, everything is up in arms. I don't know where they're going. So we'll see what happens in the next 6 months.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It shouldn't be because we put pressure on them. It's the same as you spoke about the Willie Rioli thing. They got forced into a decision because media were like, you guys need to sort something out because that's shit. You can't let players do that. Same with the Lockie Schultz thing. They got done because of that. And it's hard to blame it all on Laura Kane because it's like when you've got a bad coach. It's like, you can't say, well, it's not all the coach's fault. He's not doing.
That's right. It's like any
Laura
company.
Head that everyone's going after, but what about
like any business? Lower? Yeah, you're going to get those who are going to do their job the right way. You're going to get those who do the job the wrong way. It's like a footy team. You're either going to get players that are going to do the job. They're going to play the game the right way. They're going to perform the right way, or they don't. It's like anything. You're going to get people that do the job right and perform right, people that don't. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be based on their gender. It should be based on their capabilities. Yeah.
I'm just really worried that we've got halfway through a season and we've already said we can't deal with it. We need to make some changes. And the people above, like Rocco's right, like Andrew Dillon, I don't think he's doing a great job.
No, he's on that.
I don't know.
My question is this, Rocco. as the AFL prior to Dylan and Laura Kane, let's go back, say, the last 10 years. Has the AFL not made mistakes?
But not like this.
I think, of course, they've made mistakes.
Maybe
sometimes
sometimes
have a new problem every single week.
It's been a disaster, Manny. You can dress it up any way you want. I mean, the only reason the AFL keeps moving forward and the footy is because we have such a great product.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
it. But your job is to move it on to the next step. You know what I mean? And the way they're running it, I'm telling you, is what. Look, every week we're talking about this stuff. We shouldn't be talking about this stuff.
The point.
That's the problem. Now, the other issue is this week has been Tasmania. So there's been a bit of talk about Tasmania, and now, with this political, what's happening there? Are they going to get a ground? Are they going to get the funds for the ground? And if they don't, the AFL has said one of the things they need to do is get that ground to get that license, or else they won't get that license. And so that's been an interesting case. I believe that it'll all be worked out, but it's just funny how the Tasmanians are. I don't know. There's a lot against this. I don't know why. Mark?
Oh, I don't even know why the conversation's been brought up. I mean, what, they don't want a side in Tassie? Well, what's going on? They just want to follow the sheep or something out there. Like, there's an opportunity for it. It's all politics. Yeah, of course, a new ground. Well, come on, man. It's going to be investment to the state. To have people coming out, tourism and so forth. Like, how bad can it be?
A lot of people down there think no.
Well, because obviously it's Tasmania. They want to be secluded and they just want to move away from, the whole country. But really, when you think about it, how bad can it be? Politics. What are they going to do? Not have a ground. What happens from there?
If they don't get the ground, they don't get the team.
Well, a team I think they can get. It's pretty easy to get a team. I think it's more about the ground. The ground, isn't it? Not building that.
I think the ground is the main thing. I think that building that ground, they want to spend the money on something else. They think it's not worth it. Why not just play on the other ground?
Yeah, I think there's something to do with the actual the landscape itself, because the location itself. I mean, it's near the water and where it's located. It's all about protecting the landscape and you're talking about spending a lot of money building this ground. So it's not, you're talking about a lot of dollars. The state government, I think his name is Rockcliffe from memory. He doesn't want to just, turn around and say to the AFL, no worries, come over and do what you want to do. Obviously, there's going to be behind all this. It means how are we going to better achieve less profit as a state, less profit, because let's be fair. Right now, the states, Tasmania is looking at it and saying our unemployment is high, our housing is fairly low. We've got a lot of people who need money better spent. Now they're thinking if the government's going to spend so much money, because we're talking about $1 billion here, that's a lot of money to bring a team. Now potentially, all right, they want a 23,000. I think 23,000 is what they want to have the stadium built to be able to carry with a roof. The question is, potentially, will this be something that's going to be profitable to the Tasmanians? That's what it all comes down to. So, sure, it's going to look good for the AFL, but it's about what's it going to do for Tasmania. So,
Petra Khan says it perfectly. So. We sacrifice taxpayers' money away from schools, hospitals to build yet another football ground, 700 million to $1 billion. I heard, So that's the issue, I think, with a lot of Tasmanians. But sometimes you've got to spend on these things. You know what I mean? What? So you don't spend on art. You don't spend on anything.
Well, going on that, Rocco, they actually reckon that Tasmania is going to have something like 210 200,000 members.
Nah.
So 200. Well, this is what they're talking about, though. That at the moment they're showing that there's so much people that actually want it. So it's a matter of to me it's like politics. Many years ago here in the state of Victoria, the government used to win and lose elections because of the public transport sector. So what do? They decide to privatise it. Same thing here. It's all about we're going to look to the next elections. Are we going to get the votes? We're not going to get the votes. We're not going to build the stadium. It's all politics and money. That's it. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the Tasmanians, to build a stadium. It's the best thing for football and also for their own, state. Mate, you're going to get tourism coming through and spending money and how can you start not thinking twice about it? Just get it done.
Yeah,
move on.
That's right.
Like when you were saying, it's probably a little bit about money, and everyone's trying to defend their own parties here. But just get it going. And I think
it's a political thing now. It's all about like winning the next election. You know what I mean? So there's going to be that against. A lot of people, as I said, are going against it because why waste money on a ground and that? But I mean, we're a bit biased. We love footy, so we're going to be a little bit biased about this. But there are people who do not give a shit about sport or footy.
I get it, but I think for some of it, it's just short-minded. Like, it's easy to say, like, oh, that's a lot of money right now. I get that, but again, Mark's right. It's an investment. You have to look at the long-term opportunities. I know from speaking with Dad, he's already said, like, that's a trip we're going to do. We're going to go down to Tassie, watch the game. People will come. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's just right now it's hard to see. And I understand, like, seeing that they may spend $1 billion, it's probably kind of like, do we really need to spend that sort of money? I get that, but
if there's a roof, you guarantee that the Bombers want to play there. Isn't that right, Rock?
The thing is, years ago, mate, $1 million was a lot of money. $1 million now, you can't even do nothing with it. $1 billion is just a standard these days. So just
really
get it going, get it moving.
I'm happy for you to give me $1 million there, Mark.
What are you going to do with $1 million these days, mate? $1 million doesn't get you nowhere, buddy. I'm telling you right now. The way it was maybe 20 years ago.
I can tell you that Rocco and I can retire on that $1 million.
I'll retire on $1 million. Give me $1 million right now, and I'll be gone, mate, gone.
I'll be visiting Rocco in Thailand.
It wouldn't last you long, mate. It wouldn't last you long. I'm telling you right now.
It'll last me plenty, bro. It'll last me plenty. It'll last me plenty, mate.
If you learn to live life beyond your means, it'll last you for a week. But if you learn how to live your life with not saying that you live in poverty, but if you live smartly, you can. Believe me, $1 million. I'm happy, mate, to go visit Rocco in Thailand once a month.
Thailand.
3-4 days. And
I could do that with 10 grand, mate. I could do that with 10 grand in Thailand, man. What are you talking about, $1 million? You want to go to the Caribbean or something like that, or Vegas, or
you couldn't do it with 10 grand. You joking? Have you been to Thailand?
Never been to Thailand.
Try to go and buy a place there along the beach.
To buy a place in Thailand along the beach probably cost you about what, $200?
Yeah, all right. If you can find me one, I'll move tomorrow there.
Italy, boys, that's the place for cheap real estate.
Italy's too expensive, man. Too expensive, man. And
there's some good value over there.
Oh,
money bags, Mark. That's what the viewers are saying. Money bags, Mark.
Oh, mate, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Before we get into the games, anything else? I mean, what else is there? I think, did you have something, Liam, or was that it?
Was it a mid-season, maybe a bit of a mid-season All-Australian?
Yeah, it is the mid-season All-Australian if you want to chat about that. No one any good there.
Well, apparently there was an All-Australian mid-season. I think there was just one bloke from the Bombers and a couple from Collingwood, but that's about it. Nothing from Tigers and from Carlton, which I was very surprised. I thought I thought Big Charlie would have been in there, but not the case. So
Charlie be in there. He's only kicked 20-odd goals.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, they're not going to put a. They normally put the leader.
I would have thought
going on. That's like 3 St Kilda players in there. That's a joke.
I would have gone going on current form if the All Australian. I would have thought Zach Merritt and possibly maybe throw in Nick Martin just on current form at the moment. Those 2 players, I think, from this football club.
You wouldn't put Martin in there. Maybe Jack Merritt deserves to be in the squad.
No, we're just talking about names and that. I'm talking about in current form at this stage right now.
You mean Zach Merritt? Zach Merritt?
Zach Merritt, I think should be. But look, there's a lot of fantastic midfielders out there, so I wouldn't probably put him. Ruck. Ruck
in the squad. Did they have a team or did they have a squad?
It is. It's the best 42. I've just got it up. Zach Merritt is on the wing.
Yeah. Well, so that's not his position. So that's what I understand. It's just like putting Tony Lockett at full back. You know what I mean? Like,
Nick
position. So, yeah. I would have probably thrown Nick Martin, if anybody, to be involved in that squad as well.
Oh, Jamie Elliott's on the half forward line. That's the other Collingwood player. That's fair. He deserves to be there.
Fair. He's leading, isn't he?
No, he's second. You got Cameron from Geelong.
That flog, mate. Downhill
from Geelong.
Hate him.
All right. Is that it? I think the mid-season All-Australian is a load of crap anyway at the moment.
It does not mean too much.
But I suppose in a way it gives you a sort of like a rundown of at the moment who's up there and is doing well, and it's obviously that's something that AFL likes to do, and we compare those towards the end of the year. But we're halfway there, and it's a long way to go. I think long way to go, and they're expecting a very, very long winter in Melbourne. Very long winter in Melbourne. So,
this is a question.
Okay. The Bombers should be okay because the Bombers like to play in that stadium that's got a roof. They've made it clear that I like playing in the wet, so they should be okay regardless of how wet it gets this year. But the rest of us will have to suffer.
All right. Can we do one question first then?
Yeah, go.
Who would you guys say, do your top 3 or 5 players leading your club's BNF at the minute? Who would they be? Who's winning your BNF at the minute? Who's winning ours? For me, Taranto, Hopper, Nank will be up there. Nick Veloston should be up there. Seth Campbell. That would be my top 5.
Wow.
I'd say for me it would be someone like Hewitt, probably Wiedering, Hewitt. I know he didn't play last week. I reckon Jack Silvani would be up there. TDK, no. Who else? I'm just trying to think. Fucking hell, man! I'm telling you, we're struggling with our votes week in, week out. Maybe Cher's had a decent year this year.
Yeah,
they're saying Cripper. I don't know. Cripper's had he hasn't had a poor year, but he hasn't had his top year. So that's probably my picks there.
Yeah, fair.
I'd go with Jamie Elliott at the moment. He's really come a long way from last year to this year. But then again, Darcy Cameron in the back, he's really stepped up. He just seems to be everywhere. He needs to play the thing, and of course, you can't go past the Dacos brothers. But Josh has had some better games than Nick. But then we've got a couple of young boys like this Ned Long.
What about Sidebottom?
Yeah, look, Sidebottom, the geriatric. Scotty, where are you, Scotty? The geriatric. How the geriatric's going to go? Well, Scotty Sidebottom, he's doing really well this year.
Season,
Peterbury's doing really, really well. So, I think we've just managed to manage them. Like I said, one of the greatest goalkeepers in the world was an Italian by the name of Dino Zoff, who played for Italy till he was 52 years old, I think he was. He was about 52. So, I know we were talking about a goalkeeper and we're comparing it, but, they say that the older they get, the wiser you get, I suppose. But, Peterbury's definitely, he's doing well. But Sidebottom, he's just – and every time they interview him, he says, I just want to keep on playing. I just want to keep on playing. So, good on him. Good on him.
Fair.
What about you,
Mark? Yeah.
Are you there, Marco, apart from Ferret and Westerfield? Who else would you
Westerfield's actually quite up there, but
he did well last week.
Zach Merritt, obviously, Nick Martin, Archie Roberts, John Caldwell, and I've got Nate Caddy as well. So they're my top 5 players at this stage, playing some consistent football.
Sam Durham? Close?
Actually, you've just thrown me out then. Sam Durham. Sorry, mate. Obviously, you come from Richmond. That's why you're aware of that, Liam, aren't you? Because you come from Richmond.
What about this bloke? You reckon this bloke might make it?
Let that guy go, mate. You let that guy go.
Hey, what about this bloke?
He's a Carlton player, mate. Oh, boy.
Westerfield.
Setterfield, man. Setterfield, mate. He actually had a good game.
I'll have to also give special mention to Ollie Hollins. I think he's had a good year, man. The young kid. I like the kid, the way he goes about things. Man, so Ollie Hollins too. So, so they're probably about our 5. Everyone else, anyone else? I'll put the link out there. So if anyone wants to jump on, there's a few here that nameless people that want to talk a lot, mate. The things out there. Let's see what kind of balls you are, and come on if you want to say anything to us.
Hey, Rocco, just quickly with TDK. What's the story with TDK at the moment? There's a lot of discussion that St Kilda's offering big money. Is you think Carlton's just going to decide to say, you know what, maybe that kind of money can go elsewhere? What do you reckon?
Well, first of all, this bloke here's been talking a lot. You talk a lot, Rocco. Well, I'm fucking running the channel. What do you think I'm going to do?
He just said he'll call in, so.
But he won't call in. He's a faceless. He's one of those, those pimple-faced people that live in their basement. Keyboard warriors. He would never dare come on. I dare you to come on, bro. Let's have a chat.
Come on, let's do it.
He doesn't even put a real name in there. Is your mum going to allow you to come on, or you're hiding in your basement? The loser. All right. I'm not so serious. I'm asking you. You're doing a lot of chatting. Come on, mate. Let's have a chat. That's what I'll put it out there, man. Put it out for anyone to come on here and have a chat. TDK.
BXKS. What does that stand for? BXKS. What does it stand for, buddy?
BMX Bandits. All right.
That's what I thought. I thought it was BMX Bandits at one stage.
TDK.
Typical.
I think he's a good player, but I'm not paying him 1.7.
No one's.
You've got to set standards. You can't be paying people that sort of money and hijacking the club. So if he wants to stay, I said this last week and the week before. I actually said that I'd put an offer to him this week and say either you sign it or you don't, because we've got to move on. Unfortunately, and we get a high compensation pick for him, so we get a top 5 pick for him. So I mean, if you guys, what did North Melbourne get for Ben Mackay? Pick 3 or something. So we'll get a pick 5 for him. So for me, like, we've got to start making decisions, man. Like, he's not the be all and end all of our team. If he doesn't want to, if he wants to go for money, you got to go, man. We need players that want to be part of the team. It's simple, man. If they're going to go for the money,
you don't blame them.
There's been a bit of a talk about maybe Sammy Draper going at the end of the year as well. I think Adelaide.
Well, the point is,
would you do a swap? Would you swap TDK? Does amazing things to my system with Sammy Draper?
No, I wouldn't swap him for Sammy Draper. But the point, I wouldn't swap him. I'd keep, if I had a choice, I'd keep TDK. But the point is, it's not about doing the swap. It's about where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? Like, where's he going to go? Like, if he wants to go to St Kilda, and then you say to me, would you take Draper if he was on the market? Of course you take Draper if he's on the market. You know what I mean? But would you take the swap?
Well, if Draper wanted to leave.
This is what I mean. Forget about,
So if TDK wants to leave and Draper wants to leave, maybe there could be a swap involved there, and I'll take it.
You're going to pay, but then is Essendon going to pay TDK 1.7?
Why? But is he worth 1.7?
No.
Come on.
No, surely no one's worth that much. No way.
Well, if Carlton's not keeping him, he's obviously not worth it. And at the end of the day, these days players' loyalty's out the door. It's about them making money because careers are very short.
The problem is with this sort of stuff, right, is this. It's simple, right? What is he worth? Like a player like that these days now, a player like that's worth over the $1 million mark, correct? Right? He's got to be worth over $1 million mark. Yeah. He's one of the right. Yeah. But is he worth 1.7? No. If I think that Carlton would have offered him 1.1, 1.2, right? And he's saying at the moment we believe he's saying no to that, right? And he's gonna and if he goes to secure the 1.7, so if another team wants your player, right, they have to pay overs for him. They have to, right? Or else he's not going to go. So they're always going to pay someone more than what they're worth, right? If they want to put all their money onto TDK, go for it. You can't afford to do that. You can't put all your salary. There's another thing about this with I don't get with St Kilda. They got a ruckman there, Marshall, right? Who's a fairly good ruckman. What's he thinking? What the fuck's he thinking? Like, imagine you're the main ruckman, then you're going along, and then you're going, wait a sec, right? I'm killing myself as the number one ruckman. Now you want to get this bloke in. What does that say for me? You know what I mean? So they got to be real careful about what they do. But if they want to put all their money onto a TDK, fine. I think Carlton have to stand firm. Have to stand firm.
Would you want a player still playing for your club that maybe doesn't want to be there? So it's not about the money at the end of the day.
I don't think you want to. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah. No, you don't. A simple answer. No, you don't. You don't want a player that doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he may want to leave, and obviously maybe I've noticed the last probably 3 or 4 weeks, TDK hasn't been playing to that potential because his mind not be to play for the Carlton Football Club in the future. So, you're offering 1.1, 1.2, and he might take that and go, I'm going to be happy at St Kilda or at Essendon or Richmond or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but he has to perform, Mark, because if he's not performing, if I'm going to sit there and look at it, thinking to myself, all right, TDK, we want him. But all of a sudden, we're looking at him and we're thinking, well, hang on. He knows that we're offering him this kind of money, right? But he's not playing. Are we really going to spend that kind of money? As Rocco said, they've got a good ruckman. And that ruckman, as soon as if TDK goes over to St Kilda, I'll tell you right now, there'll be at least 2-3 teams that would want to pick him up.
He'd want to be their number one ruckman, right? Yeah. So he's going to have an issue there. If that's what they want to do, I'm telling you now, you've got to make decisions on these players, man.
How old is he?
What's that?
How old is the player? How old is
he's only young. He's only like 24, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25. He's not really that young.
Yeah.
you know, he's been in the
he's
system.
young. What are you talking about? He's not that young. I mean, Ruckman don't mature. They're 26, 27. You know what I mean? They're big. So he's
26 in July.
And he'll get like a 7-year contract or whatever he's going to get, you know, which that's fine, man. At the end of the day, you've got to make a decision. Are you you're going to stay? He's been with these players from the start. You're going to stay with your mates and try to win a premiership, or you're going to go for the money. Hey, we're still trying to bloody, you know, like he has to think for his future too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what, Rocco, you have to be fair. The reality is, you know, you say, do I want to stay with my mates? Well, do I want to stay with my mates and try and win a premiership? I mean, he's looking at.
You can't say that, Manny, because right now you guys. I mean, remember Nathan Buckley?
Yeah.
Right? He left Brisbane because he wanted to play in grand finals. He played in grand finals. He just never won them. You know what I mean? So you can't decide, are you going to go to St Kilda? Is St Kilda going to win a grand final? You just don't know, do you? You just don't know. But I'll give you one thing. You're going to go to St Kilda. You're playing in a lot of 30,000 games, 30,000 people games. How many blockbusters you play in? You've got to think about that.
What do you want? I feel what you're going through, man. Because it was the same thing with like players leaving our club last year. But I will say with like Baker and Rioli, they turned up every week and they played absolutely everything they could for us. Rioli won our BNF as well. But Bolton was the one that wound me up watching him last year. Because I watched him and I know how good he can be. I was like, you're not even trying, man. You're just turning up. If we didn't have as many injuries as we did, he wouldn't have been in our side. I would have dropped him out. So I think Mark was kind of making that point. Like, Bolton had checked out midway through the year. He's like, we're doing shit. I'm going to Fremantle. I'm not trying. And as a fan, I hate it. That's why I hate Bolton. But like Baker and Rioli, I'm like, fair play. You guys did everything you could for the club. You had better offers. You wanted to move. That's cool. I understand. But Bolton, don't support that bloke at all.
Yeah.
But so that's how I feel about player movement.
You've got to stick to your guns. You've got to have standards. You can't have one player take so much of your salary cap. I mean, at the end of the day, too, he's still a young guy. He's getting beaten by some of the bigger blokes. Is he worth the what? As I said, man, 1.7 is a lot of money out of your salary cap, man. Like, seriously, man, I'd be saying to the guy, make your decision now or else. You know, like we've got a young ruckman in the reserves. We'll start playing him, man. We've got Peter Net in there.
I'm interested to see what you guys do with your list. Like, I think the big question is, do you guys think this is the list that takes you to the Premiership, or do you think we need to move a couple of big names? Because that seems like what the reports are saying is like. I've even seen things saying like, if you get the right offer for Colonel or Mackay, they're going to move as well, and I think that's good. Like, you're not. I think maybe I was chatting with Dad about it. He said like, you're not bottoming him out and getting rid of all the stars, but just kind of restructuring a bit.
About bottoming him out, it's all crap, man. It's all crap, man.
No, you're not. You're not bottoming.
But you've got to make
it restructuring.
All right, tell me something. I believe there is almost nobody that's untouchable in your side if you get the right deal for it.
It's true.
And you've got to be thinking like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's what I'm seeing from the reports I'm hearing about Carlton. No, I think that's fair play. If you've got
to be looking at anyone. Everyone's up for it, man. If you get the right deal, mate, why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, as I've said yesterday and on my other shows, mate, there's not just one problem with us. It's not just a list. It's not just the coach. It's not just the board. There's a few problems. So you got to fix a few things, yeah? So the list is one of the things. Can we make better? Yeah, well, look, you got to look at your list and go, what do you need? What do you need in your list? Like you too, Mark, right? You got to look at your list, right? People have got to stop forgetting about like, you can't touch him because he's your player. And no, he's one of our favourites. No one. No one. That's what my favourite is, that jumper. I don't care who's wearing it. I don't really care who's wearing it. Jesus Christ or Satan. It doesn't bother me, mate. It doesn't bother me. I hear you all the way. So Kerno, Mackay, all of them. The only one I wouldn't trade is Wiedering, right? But I'm telling you, if you get the right deal for someone, you're going to fucking trade him, mate, for the betterment of your club.
What about Cripps? Cripps?
Yeah. If you get the right deal for him, you have to.
And that's the key, Rocco. At the end of the day, the players are not really the way society is at the moment. They're not playing for the friggin' jumper anymore, mate. They're not playing. You're saying play for the jumper. Yes, but they're not anymore, mate. It's all about money and what they can get as the best deal. It's not like it was 20, 30 years ago. They played for the jumper, mate. They were so tough. That was the blood, sweat, and tears. At the moment, especially, obviously Carlton, Richmond, and can't say too much about Richmond, but Essendon as well. They're not playing for that culture and the history of the team, and that's what's hurting these big clubs. Get back to basics and fight for our club and play for those colours. And I've said this a long time, mate. The last 2 years, play for the club and the colours.
All right, so I've said this, and since we're having a serious discussion, because I'm really here to bag you, Mark and Manny, but you want to have a serious discussion, we'll have a serious discussion, right? I'll tell you now, this playing for the club is fucking bullshit, right? You don't play for the club. No one plays for the club, right? You don't play for the jumper. You don't play for it because it's bullshit. Because next year you move on.
That's right.
You don't love the jumper the way we love the jumper. No one will ever love the jumper the way supporters love the jumper. I mean, I hear it in the narrative with the players sometimes. Like when we talk about Carlton and Collingwood, they say it's just a game, right? Yeah. They don't say, and we're going mad as supporters. We hate, I want to kill them and that, right? And they're just mates, right? What I believe players, what you have to get them up and doing, to me, is you have to get them to play for their mates. You've got to get them play for the team. That's what you do. You don't play for the jumper. You don't go out there and go, I'm winning for Carlton. You're winning for your mates. You're winning for your team. And I've said this story before. I've said this. I've seen an interview with a digger, right? And he said it. They said, well, you're fighting for the flag. He goes, I never fought for the flag. And he goes, what do you mean you didn't fight for the flag? You didn't fight for Australia? He goes, no. And he goes, who'd you fight for? He goes, my mates in the trenches. That's who I was fighting for. And as a team, that's what I believe you need to do. You have to get this team working and fighting for each other. And then if you do that, you reach the ultimate goal. And then the club, the jumper, and the supporter get the rewards at the end, right? But are these players playing for themselves or are they playing for the team? That's what I'm questioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Way of looking at it. I like it.
Right? Because next year, one of your players are going to go somewhere else. Does he care about the jumper anymore? A coach will move from one place to another. Does he care? He doesn't care. You're playing for the moment. You're playing for that team at the moment. No player, coach feels the way they do about their club like we do. Like we're there, thick and thin, no matter what happens. We love them. It doesn't matter who comes in. You know what I mean? We support them. You look, we get a fucking Collingwood player next year, and we applaud him in our team, won't you? Look at you. Look at you with fucking Westerfield all of a sudden. You weren't applauding Westerfield when he was at Carlton. You know what I mean? It's all about the jumper. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for them, it's not. The jumper is just a top you wear on the day. But it's your teammates. Who are you going to fight for? Who are you going to do that 1% for? Who are you going to lift that extra, that extra stretch for? Who are you going to do it? Or are you playing for yourself? The problem is when teams don't go so well, right? What do players do? do they continue playing for the team, or do they start playing for themselves? Are they more worried about their career? You know what I mean? Are they looking at the next coach? You know what I mean? So that's what a good organization and a good coach does to me. A good organization, a good coach brings the team together so you can play together and as one for that season or for a few seasons.
Here.
Right.
That's it.
Anyone jumping on?
That's it, mate. Oh,
Any questions?
They're all scared to jump on. So
what's going on? Where's Black and White United Enzo and
well, Black and White is overseas at the moment, so he's gone on a trip.
What about Rocco? What does a Rocco jump on? Rocco Moro.
Yeah, one of them can jump on. But what we'll do is, while we're doing that, we might as well go through some games. Who wants to go first out of you three?
What's the first game on?
I reckon we're gonna. I reckon because we always wait for Liam to go in last.
Oh boy, let's do it.
We're gonna go straight up to Liam.
Done. All right.
So the Giants were 12-8-80 to 10-17. A little bit inaccurate there, mate.
A little bit. Oh boy.
Yeah. And then they just overrun you at the end. I think their quality just took over at the end, and maybe again being young side, Richmond kind of just fell away at the end. But good effort, man. I have to admit, we were watching. You saw us on the live stream. We were watching that game, and I was pumping for you blokes to win that. But yeah, as you seen, Mars wasn't. He had the big orange finger out, and he was
I'll be having a chat to him soon, mate. That's diabolical stuff, mate. No, look,
tell us about it.
The game, mate. Is look. I'll get to the final score, but we got to talk about the positives first. That's a fantastic result. The Giants are a team I think are up or a top 4 team. I nearly had them up there as near the Premiership at stages there. And to get within 3 points of them is really good. And I'll tell you what, for 3 quarters of that game, we were all over them. Seriously, we played good, and I'll do a little bit of mark here. Like if we had a kick straight, we could have been up by 8, 9, 10 goals at 3/4 time. We really could have been. It was so awesome to see, like at first quarter, and I do have to say something about Callum Ward, because that was pretty tough. You don't want to see stuff like that going down with a big knee injury, and thoughts with him, that's really bad. We don't like to see stuff like that, and maybe that sort of rocked the Giants a bit, but we took the opportunity and we went with it. We ran, we went hard, we worked hard. When we get that fast game going, when we start running, when we start working for each other, we look really good. And in the first quarter, we really put it on the board too. I think we kicked 6 goals in a row. I think they kicked the first and we kicked 6. Taranto slotted one after the siren from 50 to end that first quarter. Him and Hopper, they came out fired up for that game against their old club. And then, second quarter, everyone's kind of like, the Giants have got a spray from Kingsley. They're going to come back up, but they didn't. They came at us, but we went back. We played hard. And then same thing, third quarter, you're like, the Giants are going to respond now. No, we kept going. We outworked them. We outplayed them. Yeah, we didn't get it done in front of the sticks, which was unfortunate. I think at one stage we had 15 more scoring shots and we were only out by 28 points. So it was like 15 more scoring shots and you're only out by 28. So that's the only little criticism. But like some of those young players, Thomas Sims, I thought was wicked. He looked really good. And he was good behind the ball. I think if he's going to be our second ruckman, that's awesome. I mentioned those midfield boys. I still love Kane McAuliffe in there. He's been good. Ben Miller held Jesse Hogan goalless for the first time since round 16, 2023. I think it's about 42 games. That's mental. Everyone's like, Hogan's going to kick it back. Goalless. So massive shout out to Ben Miller for that. But yeah, I do have to talk about that last quarter. Obviously, the Giants came out, Callum Ward again. And there is actually footage if you guys want to go watch it of what he said to the team during that 3/4 time huddle. He's obviously inspired them, and to their credit, the Giants did what they should have done. And unfortunately for us, we've had a couple games this year where it's just been one bad quarter, and it's done us. We did the same a couple of weeks ago against North Melbourne. It was reverse. They got out 5 or 6 goals ahead of us. This one, same thing. We got chased down. I was a little bit annoyed at the end as well. As much as we were getting overrun and we kind of went back into our shell, which is what young teams do, I get. Part of it was how we were managed and how we were coached. Like, as soon as we got behind, we still had an extra behind the ball. I was like, but we're behind and there's 4 minutes to go. Like, why are we still playing an extra behind the ball? And then sure enough, we went up the field. We're kicking it to 2-on-1s. I was like, well, how are you going to get in front if you're kicking it to a 2-on-1 when you've got players behind the ball? So that was something that wound me up a bit. Obviously, the result as well. I mean, to be out, and like I said, we could have been ahead so far. But
I got a question for you.
It is what it is. There's a lot of positives.
I got a question for you, Mr. Liam. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, look, obviously, after it happened on Saturday, I was like, fuck, man, like, how'd we lose that? We were doing so well. But yeah, as you've had time to reflect and watch it, you have to be happy with that. There's clear progression how we're doing, and to do that against a really quality side for 3 quarters, play really good football, absolutely all over them. Yeah, I am very happy with that, mate.
Liam, you're not a very good liar, mate. You're definitely not happy, and let's not talk. Let's not talk in riddles. You're not happy. Of course, you're not happy. You had an opportunity. You had an opportunity, and you guys failed. You fucked up, and so you're not happy. Yeah, you're not happy because believe me, you'd be happy if you won. So you guys gave up the opportunity. As simple as that, and that comes down to experience, and you just got to have to accept that it's only those kind of losses that they need to be able to build on and say, you know what, now we've got to go out there. We can't let that happen again. But as a coach, I'd be gutted.
That's true.
I'd be gutted.
And like I said, I am upset that we lost. Trust me, it took me a couple of days because I was like, how can you play so good and still lose a game of football? It's very frustrating for sure. I'm upset, but I've got to look at the positives, man. There's a lot. I mean, if you go back to last week's episode, I said it's going to be tough for us going up there. It's like Giants are a quality team. We're away from home. Few players still out. I didn't think we'd do as well as we did. So yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, you boys certainly played out of your skins on the weekend there, Liam, mate. I was quite impressed the way Richmond come out, but you got to kick straight at the end of the day, and I think you boys would have won. No. You would have won comfortably, but you know, GWS, as you were saying, they're a pretty tough side, but I think you had an opportunity to get the 4 points there. But the last quarter, to get them to kick 6 goals, I know it was all about Callum Ward and so forth. 3/4 time huddle inspired the GWS players, but you know, I think some of your older players, experienced players, should have lot to get to 6 goals to 0 in the last. So I would have been really disappointed.
It's the goal kicking that killed us. If we'd have kicked straight, that game would have been done at 3/4 time. It really would have been. But
yeah, unfortunately, you didn't. You talk about what about Melbourne, mate? What did they kick?
Yeah,
Melbourne kicked like
7 goals, 20
1 or something. Mate, they deadly hit themselves. So it is. We haven't got BXK, but we've got this bloke on. Look at him.
Hello, rivals. G'day.
Oh, that sounds better. You told me you were going to get back onto the proper mic and that. I love it. You sound good tonight. How are you, mate?
Yeah, no, doing very good. It's fucking cold, but we're dealing with it.
Especially up there, far out.
I mean, it's 4 degrees at the moment. It's not too bad. It's weird because it's like
4 degrees, mate. 4 degrees. You understand? And you're coming to Melbourne next month, are you?
Right.
It's going to be a top of 12
next week. I'll be right.
At least on Sunday, I'm going to have a bit of self-discipline and save myself and watch the game on the couch and not go to the G when it's.
You're not going to go.
Nah, not when it's 8 degrees and 10 mil of rain.
Yeah, I know. It's a long drive for you. Nah, I'll be there, mate. I won't miss a game. I'll be there. So what have you got to say? Have you got anything to say about our past discussions or future discussions?
I'll probably leave like what you've already discussed to its own. I think it was a fairly robust discussion from at least three of you, but I didn't. But to continue on Liam's fantastic analysis of his game, I unfortunately missed pretty much all of it because I was driving to the TJP 24/7 or 24-hour stream.
Yes, he was there.
But what I did catch,
look, Scotty.
Mate, it was a highlight when he came on, mate.
He did pinch it. He did pinch it. Yeah, what I did catch though was the post-game reaction from the Richmond faithful, and it was very interesting, kind of juxtaposing the standards from the Richmond Football Club to those of the Essendon Football Club, because both had pretty tragic losses. But when you compare the two, it's chalk and cheese. Richmond clearly has standards, and even though they can honestly have legitimate excuses for their losses or the state their club's in, you look at Essendon, the way their fans reacted, you legit would have thought that was a grand final. And, well, I might be jumping the gun and assuming your reaction, Mark.
No, I think you're jumping the gun there, Scotty, mate. I can understand where you're coming from here, but Richmond were so far in front and Essendon was so far behind, and to obviously come back and nearly snatch that win was quite impressive. But look, I haven't spoken about the game at this stage, so I think you're jumping the gun a little bit. So whether I was happy with us losing by those 3 goals or with if I was disappointed or not. So, but yeah, there's a lot of supporters out there that are thinking that was fantastic that we come back and we got close to the premiers there. But I've got my own theory about that as well.
Yeah, well, you did get the lead on them, but you still ended up conceding 90 points in an extremely winnable game with a far more experienced team than Liam's. So I think a lot of the reaction is really, at this point of the year, every year, Essendon's all over the media because they're usually far above the point they are, at least on the ladder. Their percentage is always the same. But the amount of sucking off that the Bombers get from preseason till about June, July is disgusting. But then after Thursday night, I think they got about 6 months just in one big go.
Well, that just goes to show how big our club is, mate. And people want to listen to all the media bullshit that's going around. So there you go, buddy. They want to listen to about the Essendon Football Club, not the Collingwood team there that's maybe going to start struggling towards the end of the year, possibly.
It's possible, Mark. I mean, it's Mark, it's much more difficult to maintain such a high level of play than being maybe a high energy team that's in a slump similar to Hawthorn. So maybe we might just see, Mark. We might just see.
Spot on there, Scotty. Spot on there, buddy. Spot on.
And actually, well, I've actually got a quick question for Rocco, Liam, and Mark. How do you feel that there's a culture of nepotism at the Collingwood Football Club?
I'll have to Google it.
I think you've got to ask.
No, because you need to ask an outsider, looking in, because he's just going to say whatever bullshit. Because I was watching 360 last night because Harry Mackay and Darcy Moore were on. And I look at this bloke, Darcy Moore. If his name was Billy Frampton, do you think that he would be captain of that club?
No, probably not. No, probably not.
The way that he carries himself is the way that he plays deserving of the captaincy of such a big club.
Nah, I don't think he should be Collingwood's captain.
Bro, I think he's a mong. He's a total sped.
So, do you think Oh, that's a good question. Is there because the more is it there with the nepotism there? I don't know. And then you got the day cosses, I suppose. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nah, I think they do. There's
So true. Hey, Liam's always the one on the gun. Back me up here.
I'm thinking maybe they do. Oh, well, it looks.
Remember
like
when we were chatting about their fixture the other week? Stuff like that.
What type of nepotism are we talking about there?
Well, I mean, there's only one type of nepotism.
There's two types.
Give two types. What have you just Googled? Give me the two definitions.
You're going to be coming on board. You're going to be coming on board, and you want to throw, make sure you know each other. There's two types, okay? The reciprocal one and the entitlement.
I can see his eyes. He's looked it up. Right. He's looked it up. I can see his eyes.
The facts are, you're sitting there talking about, nepotism is I'm not going to sit here and at the end of the day, Darcy Moore's done a great job.
He has.
He looked it up. He's trying to out Scotty by looking it up.
He's a premiership player.
But he was made captain before he was a premiership player.
But you know what? He's actually. I think he's done a great job. I think he's done a great job.
Do you think he's a better leader than, say, Braden Maynard?
Well, Maynard's got a different style of. He's a different style of player. Maynard is a more hard gut sort of player. Maybe that's not what they want. Maybe they, I look at the Collingwood Football Club and there seems to be a lot of love there amongst the players. There just seems to be every time someone does something good, they're all there. If someone does something wrong, they all do something wrong. I don't understand. What does that mean, Scotty?
I'm backing Scotty.
If they do something wrong, they all do something wrong.
No, if they do something wrong, they're there to support each other. So I know it's hard. It's hard for you at the moment because your team is a shambles at the moment, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
And that's spot on. I think Moore is a fantastic leader. Honestly, he's a fantastic leader. I think he deserves.
How? Why?
And he's a great spokesman. He's a brilliant spokesman. And that's something that Rocco really loves about Moore is the fact that he's a great spokesman.
He makes great speeches.
Yeah, great speech where he's like, I just want everyone to say thank you for everyone to come out today. It's just a great thing for everyone to come out for such a special occasion. That's every Darcy Moore speech in his entire career.
Oh, no. I'm going out for a cigarette after that one there, mate. Jesus Christ.
Great idea, Mark.
Nah.
When he was on 360 last night, Gary Lyon was on his knees in front of the bloke, which I know he'd enjoy. But he was asking him, what are you studying? A simple question. And he's like, I'm actually studying a master's in international relations. And Gary, because he's a fuckwit, is just like, oh, what's that? And he's just like, it's like international relations is diplomacy. And he's saying it's like to do with trade and things between countries. It's like the bloke's doing a master's and he couldn't even do the most basic definition of what he's studying. Yeah, I don't know. There might be two different definitions for international relations.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
You know what I think of. You know what I think of him. So
I think Bradley Maynard embodies the Collingwood spirit far more than Darcy Moore has ever shown.
I don't rate him. He's an intercept marker. That's all he is, man.
A diamond doesn't intercept defender. He even said that when he goes for the coin toss, he asked side bottom which direction to point before the coin toss. What the fuck is that guy even doing?
That's called being a team player.
Bro, when they're playing in Marvel, he asked him that question.
With the roof player.
Team player.
So what do you You know what? While we got him there, While we got him there, you want to go over another game? Mark's
Yeah,
not
sure.
there, so you want to go over your game.
Oh my God, they're Collingwood.
16-11, 107 to 8-56, brother. They
That's good.
Flawless game there, Rocco.
they ran away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawthorn don't look like Hollywood Hawks anymore, do they?
No.
No.
No. Well,
Hollywood Hawks, bro.
look, Hawthorn at the moment, they've got a few.
They look like more Hollywood Huck Tour. That's what they look like now, mate. They're just fucking
Oh,
shit
I
out.
haven't had that in a while. Wow.
Look,
Where's
Hawthorn's not good
Hawker?
at the moment. I think
Where
Sicily's
is
not
Hawker,
playing.
the little man? We loved Hawker.
I think Sicily's not playing this week. I think
Out
he's
for a
carrying an
couple of
injury.
weeks, I think.
So that's going to cause them even more issues. But look, not taking anything away from Hawthorn, because Hawthorn's always been our nemesis, over the years. But
Man.
we really played an absolutely fantastic game, especially in that second half of the game. We just we beat them in the. I think it was more than anything, it was the turnovers, and that's where we forced the turnovers, and and that's where we beat them. But it was our kicking at the moment is just brilliant. It's just there at the moment, and our percentage. We keep doing well with our kicking, and I think that's what's getting us over the line. Because, like I said, over the last few games that we've played, our inside 50s have been a lot less than the opposition, but our kicking hasn't let us down, and that's been our greatest strength at the moment. But not taking anything away from Sidebottom, because he had an absolute brilliant game, and of course in the fantasy points he got 129. Which,
He's reading directly off the app. It's
Yeah,
right.
I know.
I'm looking at the same thing.
That's what I should be doing.
Hey, Scotty, at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I make notes. Yeah, I've got to make notes. I'm not going to be sitting here memorizing something for 3 hours. Yeah, I used to do that once upon a time, memorize things for hours. Now I don't have to do that.
Show me your notes show me your notes.
Well, what do you want me to show? How many pages do you want me to show you?
Show me.
How many? Yeah, I can see a little bit there, Mark.
Come on, mate. Come on. But I'm not taking anything away from Collingwood at the moment, because we're sitting pretty on top, and we're doing really well. And I'm happy with the way we're moving our players, we're rotating our players, and it truly showed the difference between us, from playing against North Melbourne, where we had a lot of players out, and then we played Hawthorn, and we had a number of our players back in, and just a little bit disappointing about Schultz getting injured again, because he's a little gun. He's a little gun. He certainly makes a difference. He's not scared to get in there and play. But our big players, our big names, Sidebottom, he played a brilliant game, and of course Nick Dacos, like usual, very hard to stop. But our defence at the moment, we're forcing other teams, and we're just basically, the way we set up, we're winning the ball. So full credit to the Pies at the moment, and I'm a happy little chappy.
You should be.
You go to the game?
I had my son's birthday,
You had your son's birthday.
and then of course I had
If it was my
a
son's birthday, I'd bring him to the game.
yeah, no. We celebrated his birthday with family and friends, Rocco.
Celebrated at night.
So you didn't watch the game live?
Yeah, we watched the game.
So
Watched the
why?
game.
What do you mean you had your birthday, but you watched the game live? So what'd you do? You had a birthday, and you and your son sat there by yourself watching the game.
No,
How's that a birthday?
no. My son was watching the game while he was watching the Matildas playing at the is it Etihad Stadium? That stadium that Essendon, the home ground, Marvel, the Marvel Stadium.
He's been Etihad for years.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So he didn't want to go to the game, but he wanted to sit at home like Minority Report and have like 20 different monitors up watching 20 different games.
You got to
No.
How many games have you been, man? You got to support your side, man.
We went to watch the Matildas, yeah?
You went to watch the Matildas now?
Didn't you ask me the question about my son? About going to the game? You want to watch the Matildas? Friday night. Marvel.
You wanted to watch the Matildas?
No, we went and watched them at Marvel.
You said it was... I'm confused.
So you
man.
actually physically went to Marvel.
We went to Marvel to watch the Matildas, yeah.
When did Collingwood play?
Friday night.
On Friday.
But I asked you, did you go to the game? And you said no.
No, we didn't go to the game because we went to watch the Matildas.
So you watch it and you go, yeah, I did watch it live.
That's right.
But then you watched the Matildas.
We were watching the Matildas with family at the ground, and we were watching. We also had on our phone while we're watching the Matildas. We were also watching Collingwood. That's what we do.
That's diabolical, mate.
Well, try to dig yourself out of that one there, bro.
Hey, Rocco, what are you going to do? I've got 15 family members that have going to go watch the Matildas. So what are we going to do?
I don't even care about that. I care about the shit you just spun to get around that. You went from not going to the game to your son's birthday to watching watching it live, then watching it Matilda and Collingwood live, and then I went to the Matildas game and watched Collingwood on my phone.
That's right. I'm at Marvel Stadium. The Matildas game hadn't started till 8 o'clock. The Collingwood game had already started.
You asked me, did you go to the game? I would have said, oh, no, I went to the Matildas game. I wouldn't have said it was my son's birthday. I watched the game. Right. You just spun a lot of shit there. I don't believe in nothing that you just said there.
That's okay, Rocco.
Absolute rubbish.
Hey, listen. If that's where you find pleasure at the moment because your team is giving you no pleasure, that's fine.
That's cool.
That was the worst explanation of what you did. All I asked was, did you go to the game?
That's okay.
An obvious answer would have been no. I went to the Matildas. That would have been the obvious answer.
That is okay.
What's okay?
You'd rather go, Manny. You'd rather go to the
Matildas.
That is okay, Rocco. Well, I don't have to sit here and justify to you what I do with my personal life.
We asked you a question, Manny.
Yeah, I told
you.
We went to watch the Matildas.
Stop lying to everyone. You've done it since day one. With your memberships, how you lied about purchasing memberships, how you lied about.
If that's how you get pleasure, Rocco.
Shut up, Manny.
Rocco.
You've been lying since the day one.
Rocco,
and now you've done it again. Manny,
if you get pleasure, why don't you shut the fuck up? Take your own advice.
Manny, please. It's a family show. Can we not use such foul language?
Yeah, that's spot on. Don't swear.
You are such a dishonest person, Manny. You are such a dishonest person, mate. You are an absolute disgrace to this show. You are so dishonest. So dishonest. Let's go to the next game, man. Seriously, bro. I'm over.
I really wanted to ask him an honest question, but I don't think the Jumper Punch faithful deserve that to reward that type of behavior.
Ask me any question you want.
No. So you've had your chance, Manny. It's okay.
I can't ask you anything anymore, Manny. You are such a deceitful person. You lie upon lie. You tried to get yourself out of that. It was amazing how you did that. It was amazing the story you came up with.
Why?
My God. What was the question, Scotty?
The question was, did I go to the game? That was it.
No. Serious question. Are you beginning to see a return on your investment when it comes to Dan Houston?
Look, you know what? Dan Houston can potentially, I think, if he he's struggling at the moment to try and play the style that McRae wants him to play. I think that's the problem that we have. He's a great kick. There's no doubt there. I think he has made a few mistakes. And I think he's to me personally, I don't think he's proven that he's as the investment is as much as what Schultz, because a couple of years ago, Rocco was bagging the shit out of Schultz, but I think Schultz has proven that he's a better investment than what
Houston
is. So, yeah. So, at the moment, I don't think so, no.
That's fair. Does the panel agree with that?
What?
Yeah, no, he's right there, mate. He's done well.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a dud, but
I don't know. I think Paul comes up with that.
All his stats are down. I've got them in front of me. They're all down on his career averages.
For $1 million player, you'd expect them to have the ability to play in pretty much any system.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire on that, Manny, because you're honest. And that's what we love here at the Jumper Punch.
Well, look, I think is he got the potential? Is he a player that can? He can, and obviously, you know, it's for Collingwood to pick him up. He's obviously seen something there, but I haven't seen. I have not been, you know, like the start of the season. I was sitting there and I was boasting about him, you know, and you know, but no, at the moment, no. But having said that, it's hard when you've got a team that's doing so well, and you've got most players in there that are doing really, really well. So, is there someone that stands out more than others? You know, you got Josh that plays, that always stands out every week. Nick Douglas stands out every week. You got Darcy that in the back that stands out every week. You know, Jamie Elliott the last 4 or 5 weeks has been standing out. So, you know, it's when the team's winning. I think it's when the team is losing, and that's when you start to pick up on players like Houston. You know, is he actually achieving what he's supposed to be achieving for the money that's been spent on him? So, but time will tell.
One thing. The players that you gave up in that trade to get Dan Houston across, one of them was John Noble, and he's been wicked for Gold Coast. How do you feel about that, man? Seeing how well Noble's doing at another team.
Yeah, I mean, look, Johnny Noble was a good player for us too, but I think it was did he when he left from Collingwood, did he go straight to, or had he gone over to Sydney first?
He went straight to Gold Coast.
Went straight to Gold Coast. I'm thinking about somebody else. But look.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do if a player wants to go?
I'll answer this question because there's a couple of not too intelligent people in there who just blabber on the same sort of shit, right? But are too scared to come on and debate this with me. Would you still be winning as many games if Houston wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Then you just answered your own question.
I think so.
Then you've answered your own question. Is he worth $1 million? Will this cost you later on? I mean, we've done it a few times, so I know people are going to say, you've done it. Yeah, we've done it. And it's cost us, you know. So we'll pay him $800,000. What did he get? A 5-year deal?
Well, Rocco, if we end up winning the premiership this year, right, and I'm not.
Would you win the premiership? Would you win the premiership without Houston?
Well, that's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think we can, but my thing is, if we win the premiership this year, and then all of a sudden we win nothing for the next 5-6 years, would I be happy? I'd be very happy. I'd be content because I'm thinking to myself, you know, we've done well. But you know, at the moment, you know, still early days. But like I said, when you got the team overall and they're playing so well, and everyone's playing so well, and the team overall are playing so well, you know, Houston is not standing out. It's when the team's not doing so well, and that's when you want your $1 million man to be able to step up, you know, and really try and, you know, that's the way I see it. Because
you shouldn't be paying $1 million for a halfback, am I?
What's that?
You shouldn't be paying that sort of money for that type of player. Would you win the premiership without him? Yeah, like, that's the question. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good player. You'll see. I think with someone like that, you'll see in the future if it was a good deal or not. You know,
It's hard to say. It is hard to say.
Yeah. All right.
Because at the start of the season, if you had asked me, and I think Scotty asked me, and Scotty put me on under the pump when he said to me, you know, about the geriatrics, you know, and he said to me, you know, what do you think about Sidebottom, you know, and Pendlebury? It's at the moment,
it's still to play out. It's still to play out, Manny, with your geriatrics. Man, there's still half a season to go, so it's still to play out on these. At the moment, we're doing good. Geelong did it. You know what I mean? They did it a few years ago.
Yeah. Also, if you notice, at nearly every post-game interview, when they talk to Pendlebury and Sidebottom about how well they're going despite their, you know, advanced age, they always seem to mention the incredible advancements in sports science. That's a bit strange, don't you think? The incredible advancements in sports science. I'm not saying anything. Mark, maybe you know something about that, but watch this space, because they bring it up a suspicious amount of times.
Yeah, the truth will come out.
Black and white, and the truth did come out with Essendon. Black and White United, welcome. He's overseas at the moment. I think he's over in England or something like that. I might be wrong, but he said we'll win a flag without Houston, but not Josh. There you go. So I'm glad we didn't get. I'm glad we didn't get him.
Yep.
I don't understand what no regrets. I think no regrets. I don't know what's going on with him tonight. He's a bit all over the place. All right. You know what I want to do? Do you want to stay on while we do the Essendon game?
Yeah, that's fine. Then I'll jump off. Just waiting for my mate BX.
12.90 to 11.672. They crept away in that last quarter. They were at one stage looking. Look, to tell you the truth, and that's without. I never thought that you were going to win that. I always thought that Brisbane were going to win it. Like, they just looked like they were going at about 80%. But in saying that, you definitely brought it up to them. You definitely brought it up to them that night.
Yeah, nice spot on there, Rocco, mate. I think after quarter time, at one stage, I was starting to tell myself that if we don't at least outscore them in the second quarter, there's a nice show that I can watch in bed called Blanket and Sheets. So, unfortunately, full credit to the boys after half time. You know, it was all about just effort and having 22 players out there, regardless of experience, inexperience, they all had to go. I think there was a couple of crucial maybe decisions in the last quarter. I think 8 minutes to go, we were 1 point up. 1 point up. And I think Zach Merritt throughout the whole game was playing towards the back line, obviously supporting our young backmen there, but he should have gone in the midfield, straight in the guts. 8 minutes to go, we're 1 point up. I think Scott should have put him in the midfield. And also I noticed that Jay Caldwell was also on the bench for about 8 to 10 minutes in the last quarter as well. He had 17 possessions in the third quarter. And I don't know whether it was a tactical move or not, or he couldn't get on the ground. But that was very crucial in the last 8 minutes of the game, because I just felt that we just needed a couple of experienced midfielders coming through with Zach Merritt and Jay Caldwell. But it wasn't to be. Like I said, it was a fantastic effort. I'm not quite sure what's happening now with the interchange changeover. Is it why does it take 8 to 10 minutes for a player to jump on? I don't get it.
It's not about that, Mark. It's about where you're positioned on the ground, right? So, for example, they're trying to get him on, but the play's on the other side. What are they going to do?
Well, that should change then, Rocco. All right, that should bloody change, because at the end of the day, we want to see our best players on the ground. We don't have to want to wait 10, 15 minutes for a player to jump on the ground. Change it again. Make some changes.
If that happens, Mark, we're going to end up waiting an extra 10, 15 minutes per quarter.
All right.
Just to
I know what
interchange.
you're saying.
If the ball is on the opposition.
Mate, before you go, and then I'll let you talk, right? I know what you're saying. You're frustrated, right? And it happens every week to every side, right? What is the solution?
There's got to be a solution then, because
What
we all
is
go to the I don't know what the solution is. What was the solution 20 years ago, mate? If the player was on the bench, you'd put him straight on. Why is it that
you've got to, Mark, you've got to bring someone off to bring someone on, correct?
Bring someone off to bring someone on, mate. Work it out. Sort it out.
But if the play, for example, who are you talking about? Merritt here?
No, I was talking about Jay Caldwell, who was on the bench for 10 minutes.
All right, so who's his replacement? Who's his replacement on the ground?
Doesn't matter who it is. The guy had 17 possessions.
You can't take out your ruckman, right? It's got to be a like for like replacement, doesn't it?
Oh, Rocco, you could replace.
You're going to take out a defender. You're going to call over the defender, right, and bring in a midfielder.
What I'm trying to say, Rocco, is that why is it taking a player 8 to 10 minutes to get on the ground when it was a crucial moment
because
of the game?
The play, it's got to be the right time. There's either got to be a goal or where the play is near the boundary. If the play stays on that side of the ground for 8 or 10 minutes, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? So you want the other midfielder to run off and leave one less in the contest.
What I'm trying to say is that we're missing out on some of these good players that are going to sit on the bench because of a case of the ball being sitting on the forward pocket for 15 minutes. What if it was a windy, wet day? So we're missing out on.
There's nothing you can do about it unless you remove a player.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what was crucial, whether it was a tactical move or not, where Jay Caldwell went off the ground and stayed on the bench for 10 minutes after having 17 positions in the third quarter. So why is he on the bench for 10 minutes? Because what? Because the ball was sitting on the forward pocket for 20 minutes? Well, that's bullshit. Yes. Well, it's got to change then, because you want to see the best players.
How's it going to change?
Well, mate, I don't know. Work out something. Because what we're doing, we're missing out on seeing the best players on the ground. It's like if Cripps can't if Cripps can't get on the ground for 10 minutes because the ball's been sitting on the forward pocket on the other side for 10 minutes, he can't get on the ground. It's like going to a concert, mate. You want to see the best players on the ground.
But Mark, if Hugh McCluggage was stuck on Brisbane's bench for 10 minutes, you wouldn't notice or care. And if you're aware of it, you'd be happy with it. Scotty. It's just a part of the game.
It's not, mate, because it could have made a difference. The guy had 39 possessions. So at the end of the day, if he had to go onto the bench just to rest for 5 minutes, but he couldn't get on for another 5 minutes, that could have been crucial towards, like I was saying. And that was my point. It was 8 minutes to go. We're up by 1 point. I think the decision from Scott was he should have put Merritt in the guts.
How? But all right. But I'm just saying that interchange thing has got me. I don't understand what you want to happen.
I don't know what can happen, Rocco. What I'm trying to say is that it took a player 10 minutes to get on the ground. So that's important.
But because of the play, bro. If the play's on the other side, how are they supposed to do it?
I get that. I understand the rule. Don't get me wrong. I understand what's going on with the rule.
It's not a rule. It's a state of play.
Well, maybe Rocco. Maybe what they should do is they should say, right, you go in onto the ground, and I want you to go and tap the other player on the back and tell him you now go to the bench.
Are you a banana too? If he's a midfield. No, wait a second. If he's a midfield.
But I'm saying this is what Mark is saying needs to happen in order for it to change. I mean, what are you going to do? And I mean, at the end of the day, you're either going to remove a player.
You can't take away a player from the contest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what Mark wants. Yeah, you can't. Weird. It's just that's the game.
Well, that's right, because you could have one of your champion players on the bench for 10 minutes that you shouldn't be on the bench for.
Well, you know what, Mark? Maybe that's a very, very bad tactical approach or tactical decision
right.
that was made by
whoever's
in charge of the interchanging, and as simple as that.
Correct. And that was my theory, because the player had 17 possessions in the third quarter, and they rested him, and it took him 10 minutes to get back on the ground. And within that 8 minutes, that crucial time, that player, he's in form, he's getting the ball, he's running hot, and it could have made a difference in the game. But look, obviously Brisbane, a very, very powerful club and experienced, and they obviously just, the last 5 minutes, they just took over the game and won by 3 goals. But credit to a couple of players. Nick Martin, I think this guy is elite. He's a fantastic, very clean, 30 disposals, clean with the ball. Zach Merritt did play the whole game in the back line. All right. So that's why that crucial moment when we got in front, 8 minutes to go, why didn't the coach throw him in the guts? Bit of experience. It didn't happen. He kept on playing in the back line. So fantastic, Zach Merritt. It's a different position for him. Watch this space. Archie Roberts, consistent every week, 25 possessions, fantastic foot skills, and he's going to be great for the Essendon Football Club in the next few years to come. And credit to Peter Wright. After half time, he just attacked the ball in the air. And regardless if he marked it or not, he brought the ball to ground. And obviously our small forwards ended up kicking a few goals and got us into the game. And Nate Caddy, mate, honestly, this kid is going to be an absolute superstar. So kudos to those boys. I'm proud of the Bombers. All in all, it was a great effort. But like I said, Brisbane were just probably a little bit too strong and more experienced. And we didn't get the cookies. Sometimes, like my daughter was saying, Dad, I'd rather lose by 60 points to get close and lose by a couple of goals. Because it hurts you, doesn't it? When there's a close game.
You were contending for part of the game.
You and me both, right?
Richmond are probably thinking, I would have rather have lost by 10 goals than lose by 3 points, because it hurts you more.
I highly doubt that.
It hurts you more when you lose by a goal or two.
I think what happens is if you lose by 10 goals, what happens is you kind of accept it a lot earlier in the game. But when you're losing near the end, of course, there's always that hope to come on, and then you're going to win the game. So it definitely hurts, but that's it. But pretty good. That was a pretty good description of the game, except for the interchange. I think you've lost the plot there. You don't know what's going on.
I reckon there's got to be some changes to that, because
there can't be a change, Mark. There's no change about this. I think you're frustrated because the player wasn't on the ground.
Yeah,
but we all cop that. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it unless you take him out of the contest.
Yeah.
Right? And you go, come out, you get the runner out, come out. He's going to run all the way across, right? Then your player's going to run all the way back. And in the meantime, Brisbane's kicked 2 goals. That's what would happen. That's why I've seen it the same. I've seen Cripper, Walsh, bloody all 3 of them on the bench trying to call them over. But what are you going to do? Yeah. Unless you,
that's the way it is.
Can't stop the game.
That's what I'm saying. You want to see most of those players, those champion players that you were saying there now, Rocco. You want to see them more on the field than on the bench. But did you boys see Nate Caddy's goal?
Yeah, nice goal. I thought it was Maradona. I thought it was Maradona playing.
You know which one I saw? You know which one I saw? The one he missed just before when he ran into the... That was tough.
Scotty,
but he made up for it. He made up
for it.
Probably goal of the year.
Can I ask Scotty a question there, Rocco?
Well, we're having a discussion, and in the middle of it, you're going, Scotty, we're having a discussion about the goal.
No, yeah, because you're trying to take the piss out of poor Mark. He's tended really, really well.
No, I didn't. I actually said, if you listen with your big head, right, if you listen, I said, I noticed the goal at the start where he missed. And Mark goes, yeah. And I said, but he made up for it, and it could be goal of the year. How am I taking the piss out of him?
I hear you say that. My apologies.
Yeah, I know, because you don't. What you do is you only think about what you want to say. So now go ahead, Manning. Go ahead.
Scotty, what are your thoughts about Graham Wright? coming to the Carlton Football Club?
He looks like Emperor Palpatine. So I hope that he takes over Princess Park like he did the entire galaxy. Look, it's promising. I've been doing a big deep dive, part of a personal project this week in regards to our club and our constitution. So it'll be interesting to see how he can kind of contend with the inner workings of the club. Given his past experience, I'm interested to see where he takes things in regards to raising standards, list management, and really giving him something to play with. Part of the discussion on the Jumper Punch last night was the fact that he's not a known entity as a CEO. He's worked his way up the ranks, and he's still relatively young for somebody with that position. So he'll be wanting to prove himself, and he's already got a fantastic track record. The more interesting criticism of Graham Wright is that while he's got a footy brain, he's fucked when it comes to the financials, which I think will actually help us at Carlton, because we've gone so much in one direction and we've kind of left the most important thing behind. So, no, I'm very excited to see what Wrighty does. And like what they've got at Port Adelaide, the transition thing makes absolutely no sense to me. I know you want to have somebody in the pipeline to replace your current CEO, but it's kind of like, well, if Cook's not really in it at the moment, why can't you just let him take over now or at the start of the year?
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I agree. And we had this lengthy discussion last night, so I agree with.
But I want to see a bit of chaos, man. That's all I want to see. Yeah, and I think a lot of the last three years has really primed our supporter base, for the most part, to kind of mature a bit and have these expectations for our club. I think
you wait at you, Scotty.
I know.
What is happening, mate?
I think right, if things go right, we'll hopefully course correct. He did well for you, Manny.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
And if his mates weren't all racists, then he'd probably still be there.
Yeah, well, he did have a bit of a thing for that, but I agree. I think I think he's the right man to come in, but we've had this kind of messiah kind of thing coming in before. So hopefully he makes a difference. And you're right. The thing I do like about him is when we got Cook over, we got him out of retirement. We're getting this bloke over, and he is ambitious. As I said, this will be the first time he's going to move into this CEO kind of position. So he's ambitious. He's going to want to make moves. And I think the move's going to come about quicker than we think. So mid-year, I think he's already starting to get some powers there and some decisions made. So let's hopefully, because there has to be, I told you, Carlton, it's one of the biggest clubs in it, and it's tough. It's tough to run this club, man. You have to be a strong person. This is how big this team is. I know a personal mate who owns a massive pub, and they rejected his sponsorship. They've got too many sponsors. Do you believe it? This is how big this club is. They just, off field, they're just a powerhouse. So it's time to bring that on field, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
When you look at the physiognomy of the bloke, does he look like someone who will take shit?
Nah. Where Cook look like, all right, I'll come down. He look like that, but he looks like I'm ready to make some moves. He was in the box when Voss was coaching there at the start of the year. He's already. We're getting word that the footy director or is it the he's going to be gone. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a
department. Yeah, and it does give me a bit of faith as far as like the board of directors goes to approve, right? the fact that he is an unknown entity, whereas like we seem to have always gone for the big name, the known quantity. Yeah. So it shows a bit of maturation in that sense.
Make a name for yourself, son. Make a name for yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Make a name for yourself as exactly. And he's another one that's got to go. Brad Lloyd has to go, man. That bloke there's been through this whole time. He's still there. So, all right, man. Good speaking to you. We've got another favourite waiting in the back.
Thank you very much. It's a shame Mark's not here because I did a bit of his own homework last weekend. Check out Bombers Banter channel on YouTube.
Yes.
And make sure after we belt those cunts on Sunday night to call into their fan cams. I'll be there spooking Fourever rivals. And we'll make it a good one for them on Sunday. Love you all. Peace.
Yeah, thanks, mate. See you, brother.
Oh,
you know what's funny? He's right. So after last week, the Bombers lost, he jumps on to the Bombers fan cam and starts to troll them, which was some good. He asked some serious questions. It was good. And then he gave Fourever Rivals a big plug. That's what you should be doing, Mark. Jumping on these fucking Essendon fan cans and trying to give us a plug, man. We got Scotty doing it for us.
I'm trying my best, boys. I'm trying my best. I'm sharing the groups.
You've got to get on. Straight after game, they got this Sheila doing, this girl doing
she's fantastic.
Fan cam. Yeah. And she gets about 100 people watching and that. You should get on there. And
she's invited me to go on there. She's invited me to go on there, but I said there's a contract that's got to be involved here. I've had to put.
What's the channel?
No. Hey, can I say something about the chat? It's been fantastic. But BXKM, you can say whatever you want. If you start getting personal with the people, I'll take you off. It's as simple as that, mate. You're doing all right, but you're a bit of a dick, mate. You're a bit of a dick. People like keyboard warriors like you who come on, you don't want to put your face on there. No. You're a loser, bro. I'll put it back on there, man. I'll speak to you any day. But if you're gonna, I'm telling you now, if you are going to offend any of the guests or any and start getting personal, mate, say whatever you want about our opinions. But if you're going to get personal about it, you got family members watching this, right, and reading it, and you're being a dick, right? So just take it easy, mate. I'll put the link up there. Get on and have a talk, mate. The one thing about no regrets, right? At least that bloke puts his face to it and comes on, right? Black and white comes on. You're just a dick, bro, mate. I'll put the link. Come and chat with me any day of the week, bro. Any day of the week, man, I'll talk to you. Hey, I check him out. What are you doing, mate? Like, look at him. He looks like a hobbit.
Yeah,
some real people in the chat that are fucking born deep in deficit. Like, not even definitely deep in deficit.
As I said, man, I love the chat and I don't ban anyone, right?
Nah, bro.
I don't ban anyone, man. But if you start... Man, these blokes here, man, like Manny and Mark, I mean, look at them. They're a poor excuse for a human being. I understand that, right? But, hey, be respectful, man. That's all, man.
Buffering. Someone left the door open on the blue bus tonight, I think.
No one's timed you out, bro. Who's timed you out?
Nah, mate, he's come back with a different account.
I timed him out just because I can. Just because I felt like...
well, there you go, mate.
I felt like wielding my hammer. I felt like wielding my Thor hammer just for the lols.
Right.
Just because,
That's it. So, BXK, next time, one more remark what you just put and you're done.
Nah, you're just spin him off.
I won't put those words up there.
I love wielding my Thor hammer.
See how he got upset because we've got the power. Like, these blokes don't do nothing. They never do anything. They never put themselves on camera. They never put themselves out there. I'll give you something else about, I love no regrets. But 2 years ago when he used to come on, when Collingwood started losing, he disappeared for half a year. Man, he's got no substance, guys. No substance, mate. Anyway.
some real low IQ chats going on tonight. I tell you
Nah,
that.
it's cute. They come on, they're losers.
A bit much.
But
How you
again,
boys going?
I'm telling you now, you offend the things, I'll take you off. All
How
right.
you boys going?
Good, man.
Good, Seba.
Good.
I'll see you on
Hey, Manny and Mark, you guys are fucking weak. You said you were going to jump on the 24 hour.
I know. That is weak, man. You didn't rock up.
Weak as piss.
I was
Weak
watching
as
you on.
piss.
I was watching you on that show, Seba. You're
What,
quite
the leading
impressive, mate.
cans?
You're quite a bit of a character there, mate. I loved it. You're fantastic.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, you should see me off camera. Rocco knows all about it.
It was enjoyable to watch, mate. I reckon I averaged about probably 10 hours. I averaged about 10 hours, Rocco. So it's not too bad.
No, but Eddie did say he was going to come after that game, and he didn't. Then he made these excuses that he was drinking and all that. I was willing to pay for the Uber to come down, but he was too weak to come down after his poor performance going to the soccer. What do you think about City supporters there, Seba?
What, the renter crowd that they got out on Saturday night? I've never seen that many City supporters at a game ever. Ever. The biggest renter crowd club you'll ever see.
They are.
I mean, you can't really hammer them. I mean, all the supporters are basically Victory supporters that turncoated. It's like going from Carlton to fucking Collingwood or Collingwood to Carlton.
Yeah. When did you become a City supporter, Manny?
I became a supporter when they originally started as Melbourne Heart.
Yeah, but before that, 6 months before they started, you were Victory.
I was never into Victory. I've always been a life member at Northcote City Soccer Club, but I became part of the Melbourne Hearts because they had the red and white colours.
Manny, are you lying? Manny, are you also lying about being a member of Northcote?
No.
Because you lied about being a member of the Magpies.
No. And Northcote and Melbourne Heart had the red and white colours, and we became Melbourne Heart supporters because of the fact that we're Olympiacos, and that was it. So we've from day one we were Melbourne Heart, and then of course they became Melbourne City.
Sounds like that, but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
they did win. You can't. You know, that was a good 24-hour. Seba did a good job. He drank a slab of beer like he said he would.
I found out that apparently that was the non-alcohol, zero alcohol one.
It was a full alcohol.
I could have gone another slab, to be honest.
No, you couldn't, but he did leave at about the 20-hour mark, I reckon.
Well, look, at least I did the right thing, and I got on the phone and I spoke to you for about 10 minutes, just towards the end of the show, just to spur you on a little bit more there, Rocco.
That was weak. That was you just making. It's the same as you making the excuse. I went to the Matildas. I watched the game on the phone. I was going to watch the Matildas. I was at a birthday.
Don't be like that.
Who's going to watch the Matildas, bro? What a waste of time. Rather watch paint. I'd rather watch dry paint become wet again.
Dry paint become wet again. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. The hot pies are sitting on top, nice and sweet. And 136.9%. Look at that. Absolute fantastic. Yep. Liam, I know, mate, you'd love to be up there. You were up there once upon a time, but that's okay. It's okay.
I'm upset with the picture, man. Bolt.
You know, but the pies will get prettier, of course. We go all the way outside of the 8 because we don't have anybody else in the Fourever rivals sitting in the 8, which is a little bit sad. Carlton, Carlton's Carlton. I think that there's a big chance they're going to beat the Bombers, and that may change things. However, if they don't beat the Bombers, Essendon can win a game, but they still won't make it in the 8 because they've got a super low percentage. And, of course, sitting on the bottom or third last there with 71.1 is...
Hey, they're only a win off us. Don't disrespect the Tigers.
Yeah. It's nearly better than Essendon.
Tigers, I said it, they stuffed up.
Don't
they stuffed up big
the
time.
Tigers.
They had a chance and they gave it up. They gave it up, and that comes down to inexperience.
Oh boy, mate.
Anyway,
If we beat Collingwood, oh boy, that'll be a great day.
There's a couple of rivalries. There's a few rivalry games coming up. There's a few rivalry games coming up.
Well, this is the Fourever Rivals round, is it not? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
No, Carlton versus Essendon.
It tells you how much I've checked out of the season already.
Rambo's kind of got a question. Is Voss gone if we lose to Essendon
They'll
this
keep
week?
him to the end of the year, unfortunately.
What if they lose the next 3?
Bro, if they don't get rid of him after the next 3, I'll drive through the front of Icon Park with a fucking bulldozer. I'm telling you. If he loses the next 3, I'll laugh. You're not even angry at that point. You just laugh.
It's going to be a ferocious game this week.
Oh, you guys are here in a couple of weeks. Go on, man.
What's that?
You're in Perth. You've got Essendon, West Coast, North Melbourne as your next 3.
Who's that? Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton
Those
always.
are 3 winnable games.
Those-
if you lose,
Those 3 are
The
always.
luckiest coach ever.
They're Carlton's buffers, especially North Melbourne and West Coast. They're designed there as a little booster for Carlton.
Michael Voss, the luckiest
Carlton and North
coach
Melbourne again
in world
soon.
sports. He's the luckiest coach in world sports. How can you verse West Coast and North Melbourne back-to-back 2 times in a season?
Yeah, you only just played them.
What kind of
less than
fucked
2
up
months ago.
organisation is the AFL?
That's right. Yeah, spot on there.
I'm a Carlton supporter, but bro, come on, man.
We got Mickey Skatar here, right?
Mickey Saka.
Oh, he's a Skatar, or sorry. Come on, Righty, sign up, Voss, for another 5. You know what? I like Mickey Skaka because he was on the 24-hour stream there. I was pretty sure, and he's got the Pink Floyd fucking logo there, so he must be a good bloke, man.
Where's football?
Yeah, no, he can't come on tonight, but he's going to come on next week.
Because Vince did say to him, jump on Forever Rob.
No, he can't come on, but he said he's going to come on next week to show us. We made a friend in Italy. That was the best, man. Football was the best, man. We were dying, mate. All right, you know what? While we're here, let's go through the games. And let's do some tips. And I'll put the link out there if anyone wants to jump on and say something. You can. Nah, they're weak, man. They're all keyboard warriors. Nah, there's some good blokes here. Oh, Carl's is on. Hey, Carl's. We love Carl's. How are you, Carl's? Voss is got. Mate, you know, Voss has been. Carl's has been like brutal on the messaging about Carlton lately. She's not taking any more shit, man. Sack Voss, put fucking Barney the dinosaur on the ground instead of Maltlaw. She's the best.
Just quietly, I know Mars and Paul love it. Last night, Mars and Paul were copping it. They were copping it from everyone. You know what the funny thing is? Everyone
were
says
they? Because I don't always.
They were copping it. A lot of their takes, they copped it. You know what's funny though? Like just for a bit of backstory for you guys that didn't watch the show, you three on the panel, they were doing trade, delist, keep, whatever. But what's funny is about our supporter base, the same people that complain what players are shit, they just reset and shit like that. When you say it, they all start having a cry. You know what I mean?
We said that last night. We said that, and were they copying it for like the moves we wanted to do?
Yeah, they were getting hammered, but
tell me if I'm wrong. And I said this, and I'm sure I copped a bit. I said every single player is up, right? Even the captain. The only person I won't move is Wiedering, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure I copped a bit. Oh, why would you get rid of the captain, man? If someone comes along and gives you 3 first-round picks, which they won't, but if they did. What, you're not taking that? Like, what's wrong with you people, mate? Like, everyone complains about what they do on the field. Oh, they're not good enough. Then when you want to move them, no, they're our favourite. You can't. I mean, Paul copped a big time when he first said that he'd trade Silvani.
No, he didn't say he'd trade Silvani. He said if you can get something for him,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those players
But
are
he was
easily
saying,
replaceable.
I'd
Yeah.
take a third rounder for him, right? People were losing their minds.
Yeah.
People are losing their minds over it. So
Yeah, but
to me,
Enzo,
mate,
but Enzo, you have to be harsh. You don't win flags on fucking being cuddly towards him. You have to be harsh on him. It's they're in that point of their career now. But anyway,
all
fuck
I
off.
say is with again, you want to talk about Carlton? All right. All I say about this, it's simple. When you look at your sides, right? All of you, what do you need? Right? That's what you got to work out. What do I need to be a successful side? What do you think these players are just going to pop out of nowhere? Sometimes you have to give up to get players, right? So sometimes you have to give up some of your favourite sons. And I hate to say that.
Richmond did it with fucking Britt Deledio.
Richmond did it with Britt Deledio, and they won flags. Right? And Collingwood did it with Grundy. They did it with Treloar.
And arguably, Britt Deledio was the most loved out of that group.
Big time.
He was. He was one of my favourite players for ages, man.
Fucking lids. He was a good player too. Great player. But all that teams are shit, bar Manny. So.
Yeah, but look at who we got in for him.
Injury prone. Has Silvani really been? I mean, he did last year, did the whole year, but apart from that, I mean, he's been pretty. He's been pretty like. I don't think he's been that injury prone, but you would have to consider that, man. You would have to consider that, and I agree with Mark. These back pockets, man, like we're overrating them. They just intercept defenders. Like,
is that what Mark said?
What
did Mark say that?
Mark who?
Who said
Mick.
that? Oh, Mick.
No, Mick just said, do you reckon he's injury prone? I just think maybe yes, maybe no. Is he good? I think we've got too many intercept markers. I think 2 is enough. We've got 4. So who do you keep? Okay,
they're not going to win anything, so it doesn't matter.
What's that?
They're not going to win shit, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you say that this year, of course, you know what I mean? But you got to work towards what we want to do, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it. Unfortunately.
I think you might say he's an average player, but Sauce has been great this year. He's probably been our second best defender.
That's a question, mate. You know what's a good question for you three? Who is probably one of the more loved players at your club, but you guys think he's just overrated and he ain't that good of a footballer?
Oh yeah, all right.
I want to ask you three that. All of you, like, who do you think is one of the most overrated football players at your club?
But everyone just loves him, you know, like because he's, you know, like we got that. We got
I don't know.
Maybe Sauce is a bit like that, but we got a few actually.
Liam, who do you think?
Yeah, it's Camden McIntosh. He's a fan favorite, but I've never really rated him as a footballer.
Yeah,
I don't think he's that great.
Mark?
Oh, I think McGrath, number 1
McGrath.
pick. Yeah, look, I mean, we love him, you know, but he just turns the ball over a lot, and also Mason Goodman. So those 2 probably players there that, you know, obviously are more. Mate, look, but I think because now they've been there for so long now, they're more experienced. I think they need to keep on producing that experience.
But you wouldn't give a shit if a club came at the end of the year and gave you something for either one of them. Which was the right amount of what they're going to give up for him, but you wouldn't care if they left.
Yeah, it's got to be the right amount. But I'd love to keep him, but it could be all due to, you know, obviously injuries and the way we're performing at the moment. And it's probably just a little bit.
That's the most sense I've seen Mark talk in a long time. Mark, you're coming along.
When he wants to.
Marky.
Mate, I've been coming along for the last 72 weeks, 72 shows.
I'm just fucking ripping him up. Manny, what about you? Who's overrated but everyone loves him?
The bloke who Rocco absolutely loves, and that's cocks. Rocco loves cocks. He always says to me, if there's one player that he dislikes, but I think he's one player that when he's there.
You think I know Collingwood supporters who can't stand Cox.
Really? I can't stand him. Man.
Yeah.
No.
I get a lot of Collingwood supporters who go, fuck that Cox, you know. Oh yeah, he played in a premiership, but do you think he's loved by everybody?
Yeah, I think he is.
Okay.
I think he is. He is
loved.
I reckon no regrets loves Cox. I reckon no regret loves Cox.
I reckon he loves it. I reckon he loves big Cox for sure. I reckon no regrets, and I reckon that also that BMX fucking bandit there, bloke. He loves big Cox too.
Look, no regrets. I'm not gonna say it because I'm not getting fucking clipped. I'm not getting clipped. I'm not saying his comment. I'm not getting clipped.
What's that?
Read his comment about Cox.
He does, Matt.
Which one?
You boys read it for yourself.
I'm not reading it.
I'm not saying it out loud, but
no, not a chance. I'm not getting fucking clipped. Rocco needs his magnifying glass.
No regrets. Yeah, no regrets. I said that. I reckon he does. He loves him. He loves him. He loves the big Cox. the big Mason Cox. He loves it. He loves it. All right. What about you? You got a Cox in your team, haven't you?
Nick Cox. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He might get medically retired, actually.
Yeah, he's been concussed from last year, apparently.
He's going to a panel. He's going to a review panel. He might be medically retired.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I think I've seen that last week or the week.
Yeah, he was concussed last year sometime. I think.
And to be honest, that kid in his first year, he could fucking play, man.
Yeah, very agile player. Probably has a little bit of weight on him. But yeah, you know, another top draft pick player that couldn't get through, like Reed and so forth. We can keep on going.
I do feel bad for Cox because he did have a lot of potential too.
Yeah, well, that's right. Exactly.
He did have a lot of potential. I do feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Cox everywhere, man.
Yeah, there's Cox everywhere.
So many Cox.
Cox everywhere. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves him.
Wait, Manny, that was good. That was good.
All right, we got some games.
Oh boy, let's do it. Let's do some tipping, lads. All right, first game up tomorrow night: Western Bulldogs versus Hawthorn, Marvel Stadium. Dogs back after the bye. Hawthorn, they're not looking good, man. I like Bulldogs. I like them under the roof as well. Bulldogs are my tip.
I'm going to go Western Bulldogs. Also, as I said, to me, the Hawks. Where are the Hawks? Where are the Hollywood Hawks?
Where's
they
Hawker?
Are now. Hawker's disappeared. I'm a bit disappointed. He was a young man. And I thought, we were always very nice to him, and we would have definitely been. We need Hawker to come back on. But at the moment, the Hawks are Hawk. That's what they are at the moment. And they'll lose this week. And they're out. Sicily's out and the Wizards out.
Yeah, that must be saying something, Rocco, when you've got those two players out of your team. But yeah, the Hollywood Hawks are two. Yeah, pretty much pretenders, I reckon. Pretty much fucking pretenders, mate. So the Bulldogs, after the bye, they'll be full of running. I am going to go the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, doggies for me.
Yeah. Doggies will give it to him doggy style. This will be like 40 plus.
Hey, I'm slowly. They're my tip for the grand final, man.
I still think it'll be Pies Brisbane. It'll be a 23 replay, but
I don't reckon it's going to be Brisbane. I don't reckon it's going to be Brisbane.
But Brisbane, they're just trugging along and they're just banking up the wins when they're not playing well.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I reckon you watch. I don't know. Who knows? But to me, doggies look look the goods, man. They just look strong, don't they, mate? That midfield is as good as there is out there at the moment.
The doggies giving everyone doggy style right now.
And remember at the start of the year, they wanted to sack the coach, bada bing, bada boom. And now,
Bevaridis.
without the wizard, there is no magic. I agree.
Oh, no, don't talk about the wizard. I hate that dude. All right.
You don't like that?
Nah, don't like the wizard. Next game. Oh, actually, I just wanted to answer Scotty's question from the chat. I was trying to message back, but it wasn't going through. It was about Jeremy McGovern. From what I've heard, Scotty, from the West Coast people, they reckon, yeah, he's probably going to be forced into retirement. So, yeah,
I think so, man. He's too injured.
But he can't even walk.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, people, yeah, they're not seeming too confident about his future, unfortunately.
He's had a great career. Move on. Next.
Yeah. Next game. This is a big one. Adelaide Oval, Friday night. Adelaide versus Brisbane. Brisbane are getting the job done in games, but Adelaide are playing some pretty impressive football, but they haven't really taken a big scalp yet. I think this is their chance. I think they might do it. I'll back them. I'll go for Adelaide. Why not? Let's go for Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm doing Adelaide too. I'm telling you, Brisbane are just hanging in there, and if they're when I say hanging in, they're second on the ladder or whatever. But I don't know, man. They just don't look. I don't know, man. Anyway, Adelaide for me.
Yep, I think Adelaide will probably just have a little bit too much firepower in the forward line. So Adelaide, it's going to be close, but Adelaide just for me.
Yeah, Adelaide for me. I think it's going to be. I think if there's two teams that are going to be playing the grand final this year, it'll be Collingwood and Adelaide.
Yeah, I think you all have valid points, but I think you are all completely fucking wrong. Lions by 20.
Ooh.
All right, I like that.
You're not drinking with me.
That's fair play, man. Like, they win.
I can't wait for Collingwood to go out straight sets in the finals. It's going to be so good. I can't wait, man. I just can't wait. That's going to be might be my only pleasure this year when Collingwood go out straight sets.
Oh yeah, man, he's going to cop it, mate. I'll tell you right now.
He got to talking like they're already out. Relax, man.
I'm just saying, man. That's what I'm looking forward to. Why can't I look forward to something?
No, you're not allowed to.
Ooh.
You're a Carlton supporter.
First of all,
there's a super chat for you.
Peter, $5. Thanks, Peter, man. Rocco, is there going to be a bet between you, Marco? Do you want to have a bet? We'll figure something. Ooh. Our game's coming up soon. We'll figure something.
Let's talk about
give us some suggestions. Give us some suggestions.
There should be a punishment for the loser.
Yeah, the loser shaves their face.
No.
No balls, Rocco. No balls.
You say the same thing in 23. No regrets. The only thing I'd say for you, just like you disappeared when you started losing a couple of years ago and that, or the year before that, because you were very, 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 you came a lot on the chat. No, you came a lot on the chat, and then you disappeared for a whole half of the year. It was so funny. So I will show up even when you win. But if you lose, I'm coming to film it from your place, mate, and then we'll see. So let's see how.
Some of these comments are.
I think he's in Fitzroy. I think he said Fitzroy. He lives there. I'll go down there. I'll go and film in front of his house. I'll go and camp in front of his house.
Hey, Rocco, he lives where you grew up, just around the corner.
How do you know where I grew up?
Come on, mate. Listen, it's my job to know. Are you serious?
Right.
How do you know where I grew up? I grew up in Reservoir, you dud.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a bit.
Anyway,
all right. Let's talk about the big game, fellas. Richmond, Sydney, MCG, Saturday afternoon.
All right, I think we give our tip. we'll give our tip, and then Liam, you can give a quick thing. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm going for the Tigers to come through. I'm going for the Tigers.
Good. Yeah.
You, Manny, Mark.
Yeah, obviously Richmond are playing some really good football after last week, but gee whiz, mate, if Sydney lose this week, massive dramas. So I just can't see it happening, Liam. My apologies, mate, but I think Sydney will win by 3 points.
Oh. Manny?
Tigers for me. Tigers.
And what about Seba?
Yeah, I think the Tigers comfortably.
I like it. Go, Liam.
Nah, look, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. So going back to that Hawthorn game, we sucked in that one. The last month, we've been playing really good footy. It looks like we've got our brand. We've got a bit of an identity about how we want to play. To be honest, in all our last 4 games, we've been in them, and if not, probably should have won them. So 1 and 3 is a bit stiff. We need to get a result going into the bye. Sydney aren't playing great, man. They're really not. And last year, when they were flying and beating everyone, and we only won 2 games for the season, one of their wins was against Sydney. And they don't play the MCG well. Probably have a few key players back in. Interested to see what happens down back. I think Noah Bolter might be a chance. Jacob White has been playing really well, but then I love how someone like Campbell Gray's been doing in the team. So I don't want to see him come out. Ben Miller's just played his best game. You obviously can't take him out. So it'd be interesting to see how we run. Maybe swap off one of the young guys. Someone like Jasper Alga's been really impressive in the VFL. John T. Fall, he was sort of good last week, but he was definitely one who burned us with the goal kicking. He can't kick. But he's a young dude. We'll give him a chance. But yeah, I really think, and it'll come to the center again. I didn't mention it before, but we actually won the clearances against the Giants, which is a massive thing. If we can do that again this week, yeah, and kick straight, lock it in. Let's say 3 goals. We will win by 3 goals.
And the good thing is, man,
I fight the fury with a Tigerland.
I'm telling you, it is the best song in the league.
Yellow and black. And the good thing is,
if they behind or never fight to win. Oh, we're from Tigerland. We get to the final, Siren scores.
And the good thing is,
Tiger, yellow and black.
See,
and the good thing is, you've got the criminal playing this week.
Hey, leave Noah Bolter. He's a champ. Hey,
he's a criminal.
He's a premiership criminal. So is Marlon Pickett. He's a premiership criminal as well. He pled guilty to his charges.
Yeah.
Typical Richmond players.
Well, I think he's in more trouble.
I know the Richmond signed off for hard. He used to play for the West Meadows Tigers. So
really, Walton
Matilda, right.
Oh boy, Scotty with the knowledge, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did everyone see that?
Right.
Richmond was the original Richmond song was to the tune of Waltzing Matilda. Well, how would that have gone? I don't know.
Yeah.
Waltzing Matilda.
Boo for St Kilda.
Look at that.
Up with the pies and down with the blues.
Oh man, I like it, boys. This is good. What is this?
Geelong?
All right. Next game, Geelong down in Geelong, the Alphabet Stadium versus the Suns, who haven't been good. Although Geelong, same thing. They took 4 quarters to put West Coast away. Fair play to West Coast. They were actually really good. But yeah, I think as we always say, Geelong too strong at home. Although they have slipped up a couple times down there this season, if I'm not mistaken. And Gold Coast, I don't know. How did they lose to Fremantle on the weekend? I don't know. Nah, I'll stick with Geelong.
Yeah, I'm going Cats too, just because it's down there. Suns are playing well. Suns are playing well, but it was a bit of a strange loss to Fremantle.
Yeah, I think the rain hindered them.
Yeah, but I'm going to go Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong for me.
Hey, guys, did you know that Geelong is the only Victorian team that can train on their own ground? So
This is correct.
I reckon it's absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
But anyway, so
Why?
because I don't know, they're the only team that can train on their own ground. Like we
They're the
can't
only
train
team that had the
on-
balls to say to the AFL, get fucked, we're keeping a stadium.
Well, mate, Geelong's the only Victorian team that can train at their home ground. So
What
that's
about
an
Carlton?
advantage. That's a
Well,
massive.
but you're not going to train at the MCG, because then if you train at the MCG, that also means then Melbourne has to train.
Our home ground is at Marvel, so we should have every right to maybe train once a week, or Collingwood's home ground is at the MCG, so they should be able to train there once a week. Geelong are the only Victorian team that can train at their own home ground. That is a massive advantage. So going on that, Geelong will win.
Wow. Yeah, Geelong for me.
Oh,
I think I'm on the Suns train. I reckon they'll get up. Ben King to kick 6.
Big,
All right.
big call, big call.
Big Ben.
Right, what we got? Is this Saturday as well? Saturday night, Giants and Port Adelaide.
Saturday night.
What? Monday. Oh, Canberra. It's in Canberra. What do I reckon of this one? I don't know. Giants weren't good against us.
Yeah, Giants for me.
But Port Adelaide have been awful. Yeah, I'll go Giants. It's in Canberra.
Yeah, I'm going Giants too.
Yeah.
Yep, Giants for me. Port have gone off the track, mate. Get rid of the coach now while they can.
They'll get up. They'll get up for Callum Ward, the Giants.
Callum Ward, poor bloke, man, he's done, isn't he?
Yeah, feel bad for the bloke.
Sucks. Yeah.
Good warrior,
Yeah,
good servant of that football club. Proper servant.
Giants.
What? So
Yep.
we're all tipping the Giants?
All picking the Giants.
Boom.
Next one.
Wow.
This is an interesting one, but this is over in Perth, isn't it?
I will be down there. I will be in Bunbury. We are heading down for the weekend. I'm very excited.
Bunbury.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world. I really like it down there. I'm excited to get down. Unfortunately, it's the two worst teams in the AFL playing. So I don't know how good the football is going to be, but I've watched them both play.
North Melbourne for me.
Nah, West Coast for me.
I'm gonna go north.
Flipping a coin, God knows, and it is heads. So north for me.
Oh, I meant to know what that means.
Hey, these blokes, they're playing in a Rio Tinto mine this weekend. I reckon.
Nah.
What do you reckon?
over.
What do you reckon there, Seba?
North Melbourne.
North Melbourne. North Melbourne.
Here we are. Here we go.
This could genuinely be the game coming up, the shittest game of the round.
What, Carlton and Essendon?
Yeah, it could be the shittest game of the round. That's it.
All
right.
I think Carlton have to win, so I'm going to tip Carlton.
Does Mark want to go first?
Oh, I can go first if you like, boys. If we can quickly get the tip over.
Well, it's your team. You can go first.
Yeah, well, it's Carlton's home game, not ours. So, what? Carlton's $1.40. They're paying $1.40, mate.
How?
Actually, $1.44 to win this game. I'm a little bit surprised.
Because of our top end talent, that's why. Because you got no one.
Well, they're favourites, pretty big favourites to win the game. But I think our midfield is going to be competitive with the Carlton Blues midfield. Just let you know that we'll be competitive. But I think the key to this game, very simple, is the big boy, Charlie Curnow. This guy can kick 4 to 5 goals on Sunday night. The Blues will get close to winning the game. All right? But if we can hold him to 2 to 3 goals, I think our uncontested possession, which we are number 1 in the AFL at the moment, uncontested possession, and we don't turn over the ball as often while we've got the ball uncontested, I think our boys are going to come very close to beating these blue spud baggers. Like I said, it all just comes down to God knows what's going to happen on Sunday night. They're two big clubs, two big rival clubs. Hope to bring up a big spectacle performance. But look, Rocco, I'm not going to get too involved in the game. I just hope each team shows a bit of passion and effort, and hopefully it's going to be a good spectacle. But I think the Bombers will win by 2 goals if we can try and keep Mr. Charlie Curnow quiet for the game.
I don't think you have to hope. He'll probably be quiet. Fucking bum.
Well, obviously Essendon's got a very young and experienced back line. So in Carlton, you've got some big guns out there.
You know what, Mark? You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for Archie Roberts just to run rampant on us. I actually can't wait for it because it's going to happen.
I can see it happening.
By the way, you can see it from a mile away. He's just going to go mental.
Yeah. Like I said, he's becoming more regular every week, and his performance is to a standard.
He's probably been one of your best performers, barring Merritt and Durham.
Well, obviously, Darren was injured last week, and he just went back to full forward.
Well, what I said it to you maybe in the second week of this show about Durham. I'm telling you, he's going to evolve this year, and he's just every single week he's evolved.
He can be a match winner as well. So,
he kicked goals the other week, and he had like about 25 odd. So, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's going to be good for the club. But obviously we still need some of those senior midfielders to come through, such as Darcy Parish. Obviously, Dylan Shields still playing in reserves, and Sardis, which he hasn't had enough time.
Where is Darcy Parish? Is he still dead?
No, he's played a couple of games in the Rezzies. So look, I think we might have too many midfielders coming through. I think we need another tall backman to maybe cater for either Mackay or Charlie Curnow. But so there might be another debut.
I'll be surprised if Parish is there next year.
Hey, I've heard all your fucking shit there that you've just spat out. That's come out the diary out of your fucking mouth.
So who you picking there, Mark?
Sorry, mate.
What do you reckon it's gonna be?
So who you picking?
Yeah, like I said, Manny. I think if we can keep Curnow quiet to at least 2 or 3 goals, I'll think we'll beat Carlton by 2 goals. That's the key. I think it's Charlie Curnow. I think Charlie Curnow.
I'm picking Carlton for Matula.
Yeah, and Liam.
I think Carlton just have to win, so I'm tipping you guys.
All right, my quick take on the game. First of all, Carlton aren't playing that great, but just remember something: we're in most games for 3 quarters. We're in most games for 3 quarters, and so you can't take that away. And we'll be in this game for 3 quarters. Let's not forget Essendon, right? They had a good game against Brisbane, right? Everyone's talking about this turnaround. Just remember, they barely beat West Coast, North Melbourne, Richmond. They are struggling. They copped another injury on the weekend. They are depleted.
At least they beat
Carlton
Richmond.
should win this by 42 points. I'll tell you right now. All right now. Don't get fooled by this half a good game they had against Brisbane, right? That is something that's out of the ordinary. Look what they've been doing. They've barely been getting over the bottom sides, guy. What? Everyone's forgotten about that. All of a sudden.
Rocco. At least they beat Richmond.
They beat Richmond, and that's so true. And they barely got over Richmond.
You're not sitting in the top 4 here, mate. You're contradicting. You're saying to yourself, we're going to win by 42 points.
I think I'll let you. Wait a second. I think I'll let you speak for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, but
did I interrupt you while you spoke? Did I interrupt you?
No, but you're going directly against the Essendon Football Club.
All right, it doesn't matter. It's my take. I'm going directly against it. It's my fucking take. Okay. It's my take. What are you getting upset about? You gave your opinion. I'm giving you fucking mine.
Okay.
Okay, is that all right? Or is that not good enough?
No, it's all right. You can keep going.
All right, so can I keep going now?
Yeah.
Or are you going to start to cry? You're going to start to cry over the facts. Over the facts that you barely beaten anybody. And because you came close to Brisbane, who aren't really travelling the best, right? Right? They've lost over there. They're barely getting overside. All of a sudden, I'm telling you, plus I reckon Chincotta's coming back this week. He's going to hold Merritt like he did last time to about fucking 10 possessions, and he'll kick free, and he'll give you a couple of jumper punches on the way through. So just remember about that. Plus, we're getting Williams out. Motlop's not playing, so we're going to get Williams out. So we're going to get at least something in there, right? And talking about Curnow, and then you got to stop Mackay. You got no defense. You haven't even got Mackay. You've got no big defenders back there, mate. So my take is, don't get fooled by what Essendon did on the weekend. Plus we've had a longer break. Plus they've got to travel back from Brisbane, right, mate? And we play well at the G. We don't win too many times, but we play all right there, right? So my thing is, we should win this easily. Easily,
he says.
You've only won 4 games for the season so far, Rocco.
And you've only won fucking what, 6, and you're barely beating anyone.
And we've got no players on the
West Melbourne, you barely beat West Coast.
And
You barely beat West Coast, bro. You barely beat Richmond, West Coast, North. Your Pacific is 84, bro. You can't kick over a paper bag, mate.
And you're talking.
What are you going to rely on? Caddy to kick another 6 goals over his head? Is that what you're fucking relying on? You're going to rely on Merritt to get you another fucking 500 possessions. I'm telling you now.
Manny, we're going to need Jesus this weekend.
And the Chincotta's going to fucking clamp you down, brother. Merritt's not going to be able to see the ball. He's going to start to cry just like you were about to cry.
Yeah.
Rocco's about to blow
Merritt didn't play in the midfield on the weekend, mate. And to be quite honest, it was probably a good thing that the football club done. They didn't play him in the guts, and they gave the opportunity to other young players to go through there. Ben Hobbs, so you know what?
Keep doing it.
Keep going, mate, because 42 points is like a fucking
42 points. We're going to win by 7 goals.
You're coming up a bye.
He's a pathetic. Unless you pump yourself full of peptides, you've got no chance here. Unless you pump yourself, unless you get James Hurd there again, and you get the safe house across the road where you
know what, Rocco, I thought I was
getting close to the thing, man.
I know we like talking about banters and so forth. I was pretty realistic about 2 clubs going out there this weekend and not knowing exactly how they're going to perform, because the way they've been performing this year, there's no guarantees this Sunday night's going to be a fantastic game.
No guarantees. The only guarantee is death and taxes. But I guarantee is Chinotto and whatever they're going to come out and barricade Merritt, and whatever Curly Curnow, and you're talking about having a bye. You're talking about we've got the bye. We're going to freshen up. You guys are coming back off of Brisbane. Come on.
You know what?
Come on, Rocco.
They're all realistic. They're all realistic. As I said, when you look over the form over the 5-6 weeks, right? We haven't been playing well, right? But you're barely getting over the bottom sides, bro. You're barely getting over them. And the week before, you lost by 90 points.
I think you guys.
What have you just forgotten? Have you just forgotten about all that? Is that how naive you are? You've just forgotten about all of that. And you think now, because you went over there and had half a game and still lost by 3 goals, right? You think that's your turning point. You should have heard your fan cams after the game, because I watched them because of Scotty. I know why you talk like that. You are the most delusional people on the side of this earth. I'm telling you. At least us Cubs supporters, we admit it. But you're delusional. It was a turning point. This was a line in the sand. Come off it, bro, mate.
If you had beaten Brisbane, I could say that you were coming into this game with a little bit of confidence. But on track record at the moment, I reckon Carlton will give you guys a good little spanking.
Can I just say something about this
That's what you said
game?
last week about bloody Brisbane. Get the Vaseline. Get the Vaseline.
Can I just say something about this game? Yeah,
we're in front by a point, mate. 8 minutes to go, and you'd be quite surprised if they had made some of those decisions. We would have might have got the 4 points.
Oh, now you're blaming the umpires if they made it.
I'm not blaming the umpires. Some of the decisions from our coaching staff.
Yeah.
What decisions? What decisions? What that they
The
could
player that was on the bench. The player that was on the bench.
They could have moved on. That was your thing. How about you try to put a player on fucking what was that player? That player from Brisbane who got 41 possession, McCluggage. Well, how about you try to put someone on him, you bloody dud? How about doing that? How about doing that?
Well, you're going to get players having 41 possession. But how's the weather going to go on Sunday night? What is it? It's going to be raining, or is it
rain? Apparently, it's raining during the day, but I had a look. It'll be wet. It'll be wet.
It'll be wet. Yeah.
I just want to say, you know what, you guys, I love you both, but fuck me, you can speak some deluded speak for each of your teams. I'm genuinely. This could be one of the fucking worst games of the year. It's
all right, Deborah. I'm going to go with you now. What did I say? What did I say that was deluded? What did I say?
Win by like 40 points, bro.
So what? That's my opinion. I think we'll get away from it and win by 42. What did I say? No. What did I say? Now listen to me. What? I just want you to answer this. What did I say about Essendon that was wrong? And what did I say about Carlton that was wrong? Forget about the total.
I didn't say anything that you said about Essendon.
So how am I deluded?
I'm talking about we're not winning by 40 points, Rocco.
Why?
Rocco, we're not winning by 40 points, bro.
Why?
Look, I respect you. I wish I was that upbeat about this. I don't see where we win by 40 points.
Yeah, if you're sitting
generally, and nor do I see where Essendon wins by 40 points. Seriously, I wish I was as upbeat about.
Who else did you lose this week? I'm telling you, they got no fucking defense.
I understand that. I understand that. Look, and I'm not having a go at the both of you. Look, to be honest, I wish I was as upbeat about my team as the both of yous are. But to be completely honest with you, I don't see where we like. I don't even want to say. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose.
Yeah,
I understand that, but you still haven't explained to me what I said that was delusional.
Bro, you're saying we're going to win by 40 points. Bro.
Forget about the total, because if it gets away, it gets away, right? But what did I say about Essendon? What did I say about Essendon that was wrong?
Well, I never said you said anything about Essendon was wrong.
So, and I said to you, we aren't playing good football.
Yeah, I know,
right?
but
they are hopeless.
Yeah, I understand that, Rocco, but then you're saying we're going to win by 40 points.
Yes. How can that? Why can't that happen? I don't understand why they can't.
I just don't think. I think that's delusionally. I think those thoughts are delusional.
No regrets. Get your own show, and then you move on to wherever you want. Right at the moment, you sit there. You either get off or you listen. Right, that's the first thing.
I think he's waiting for the Melbourne and Collingwood game.
Stuff for Melbourne, Collingwood. Collingwood's going to win. Bad luck. Game over. Right. I'm talking about my game. Go and get your own channel. Piss off.
I think it'll be genuinely. I think it'll be under a goal each way. But I've got no faith in us winning this game. Personally,
yeah, I know. Yeah. But you might say that, but I say we win, and I say we run away with it.
Don't get me wrong. I want to absolutely fucking obliterate it. I want to blow them off the park by 100 points, but I can't see it. The group is. I can't see it.
Essendon 2 weeks ago lost by 90 and barely kicked a goal in a half of footy.
I do understand this, Rocco. I know what you're saying.
Another half a season of the game, mate. Still another half a season of the game.
I don't see. I can't. I got no faith in our team. They're shit. They're garbage. They're just. I'm sorry.
Garbage. I know.
Yeah, but I think 2 goals. It'll be under a goal either way. But I'm going Essendon by 4
whatever.
Points.
I don't use the margins.
Rocco, who are you picking?
Oh, fucking, I'm going to pick Essendon. What's wrong with you? Now you've got another banana coming on here.
Well,
I've just finished saying that we're going to win by 42 points, and you come up with, who are you picking?
That is pretty cool.
There's a few viewers on the chat that want us to do a bit of a bet, Rocco, so I will have a bet with you. I'll bet that if you can't do win, I will wear the Spud Guernsey, all right?
Oh, boy.
What
You're
happened?
going to wear the Carlton
I was
jersey.
reading something there.
Huh?
You're going to wear the Carlton jersey if they win.
The Spud Guernsey, yeah.
Fucking someone clip it. Peter.
I'll wear the
You're
Spud
right on it.
Guernsey.
But he already said that. He already said that he's going to put on a Spud. You said you're going to put a Spud costume.
Yeah, the Guernsey. That's the Guernsey. That's the costume. Isn't the Carlton? Isn't it a costume that we're wearing? The Guernsey.
So you're going to wear. So win or lose, you're going to wear that, are you?
So if Carlton,
You're going to wear that, are you?
No,
How
next
can
week,
you call us spuds when you fucking a bunch of drug addicts who bloody got a percentage of 84 and lost by 90 points 2 weeks ago? Seriously, bro, just wear whatever you want. I don't wear your
you guys are sitting on the ladder, mate.
never put on your
wasn't really doing the ladder before. Wasn't really
with
doing
your
the ladder.
peptide jumper. Never.
wasn't-
What's the next game there, Liam?
I
Are we moving on, boys?
Your jumper.
Move
Yes,
on.
move
Move
on.
basket case.
Go to Mighty Bombers, mate. Come on. Go to Mighty Bombers,
Jesus for
mate.
this game.
Go to Mighty Dons.
I'm very excited to see Mark in a Spud outfit. But let's talk about that final game. Melbourne, Collingwood. It's the Big Freeze game. It's a really cool game, actually. But I think Collingwood's a better team. I don't trust Melbourne. Yeah. Collingwood. Yuck. I'll tip them.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
I'm going to go Collingwood too.
Yeah, I'm going for the Mighty Pies. I think it's going to be it's a great event. It's a great cause. They do the ice baths and they they raise money for a good cause. But usually these games can. They used to be once upon a time at close games. Then they started blowing out either way over this couple of years. But I don't think at the moment Melbourne is at its level to be able to compete with the Pies, and I think the Pies are going to win this quite comfortably by 6 goals.
Yep. Purchase a beanie, boys and girls out there. It's for a good cause as well. So, but I think, Collingwood will win this game. So we're looking at round 11, 12. So there's still another half a season to go. So you need to get these points while you can, Manny. So I think Collingwood will win by 4 goals. But there's still a long season to go, buddy.
Hey, Mark, when you say we need these points, we're sitting on 40 points at the moment. Yeah.
So you need to get the points now.
So you guys at the moment are sitting on where are you?
Don't worry about Essendon, mate. I'm talking about Collingwood.
Hang on. Let's talk about this for a second. You guys, we would have to lose 4 games.
Yeah.
Right? And you guys would have to win 4 games.
Yeah.
Right? To be able to catch up to us, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, right? But right now, we've got 40 points.
That's okay.
Yeah?
That's why. Hold on to those points while you can.
So if we got 40 points in the middle of the season, you guys have got 24 in the middle of the season. Somehow, mathematically, to me, it just doesn't make sense what you're saying.
I'm just trying to say, hold on to those points while you can, because I think
we can't lose them. We've got them. They're our points. We've got them. That's it.
Points, but 44 points doesn't make you final, mate. So,
I'm losing brain cells.
Yeah.
Take the points while you can, Manny, because you're going to start losing a few games.
You know what? This is the game. And it won't affect them, but I think Melbourne will get up here for some odd reason. I don't know why. And I'm not saying Collingwood is shit. Before all the buffering people in the chat start having a fucking cry, I just think that Melbourne will get up this week.
Once they get that What do you reckon, Mark? Once they get that loss, man, it could be just downhill from there.
Possibly could be, Rocco. Spot on, mate. You just don't know, mate. You just don't know. And they're still sitting on 40 points, and there's a couple of games to go by the end of the year.
Vince McMahon, are you related to the guy in the bottom? We've had this discussion. Are we related? Seba.
Oh, no shit. My brother is engaged to his fucking daughter, which has been talked about like 150 times.
But he probably doesn't know. He probably hasn't.
Fair enough. Sorry, Vince. I hope your court case is going well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No,
So, I know, but people have been doing that. Oh, yeah, engage his brother. Yeah, no. So, and then we were working out. So, what does that make you to me?
I don't know, like
second brother-in-law.
Some fucked
He's like
up
my
family
son.
member.
He's like my son. He's about as old as my son. So every once in a while, I have to give him a nice clip across the fucking head and punch him straight.
You decreased the years on my life there. Your son's only like, what is he, 21? Fuck, you made me feel young again.
What are you?
Bro, I'm like 24. I'm over the hill.
Oh, fucking hell.
But I feel genuine. Yeah, but I'm 24 living in a fucking 70-year-old's body.
My daughter's 28, so it's not unreasonable that you could be.
You know, Rocco, I'm 24 living in a 70-year-old's body. You know my body's fucked.
I know you are. You got a bad tobacco.
Yeah, bad back. I got two bad back here.
You got two bad backs. Are Manny and Mark related? Oh, fuck, man. That would be one family event, that one there.
Yeah, we are related, aren't we, Manny? We're related, mate. We go back a long time, mate. A long time, brother.
Where'd your son go to school, Rocco?
I keep saying this.
Same monikers.
I keep saying this. The Greeks introduced sex to the Italians.
Oh, you introduced doing it from behind.
The Italians introduced it to their wives. That's it.
I have a look at the Greeks, right? They got a fantastic fucking past, man. They used to hand over their little boys to men like you so they could teach them to be men, man. I'm telling you now, have a look at the histories. That's part of it, man. That's how they used to make him a man.
Hey, listen. I've got a question. I wanted to ask you guys before. I was hoping he's went off, but I got a question for you guys, even in the chat. What's your because being as though it's mid-season, what's your big call or shocking call for the rest of the season? Someone that might drop out of the 8, something like that. What are your? I want to know.
All right, Liam.
Big call for the rest of the season.
Carlton might not win a game for the rest of the year.
Nah.
We got North and West Coast to go still, mate. God,
that's
I don't know. I reckon a big team's going to drop out of the 8. I reckon it's going to be Hawthorn. Everyone reckons Hawthorn's amazing. They're not. Hawthorn are on the slide. They're going to struggle for the rest of the season.
I can see that. I can see that.
That's my pick. Hawthorn's sliding down.
Vince McMahon, shocking call. Canna Bruin pleads guilty. You're a fucking idiot.
No.
What is he on about, mate?
My big call is Collingwood will not make the grand final.
I give that's a bit cool.
They will either get out straight sets or lose the preliminary.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. That's a fair call. I think Gold Coast Suns aren't going to play finals football this year.
Oh, wow, that's a
big call. That's a big call.
That's
a big one, Manny.
That's bigger than my call.
Yeah,
that's bigger than my call.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a big call, Manny. I like that, but I think you're wrong, but I like it.
Well, that's why it's a big call.
Yeah. No, that's right.
And Timmy will tell.
And Marco, what's your big call?
Look, guys, I think all three of you boys are pretty much spot on there. But I think either Hawthorn or Gold Coast may drop out of the 8. And I don't think Collingwood will make the grand final. So you boys are all pretty much spot on.
You just used up all our calls.
Well,
I was waiting for Mark to say Essendon's going to make the 8.
Well, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Say it.
You know what, Seba? I'm going to put this on to you guys, right? If Essendon beat Carlton this Sunday,
you can make the 8. I'll give it to you.
We'll get close to making the 8.
That's not big.
Who will be the sleeping giants?
That's close. You got to say if we
Just say it with chest. Put it out there. Put your balls on the line.
If we beat Carlton this week, honestly, if we beat Carlton this week, because we're still a game behind everybody else in the AFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you keep telling us.
Yeah, well, that's a very
Put your balls on the line.
Because now everyone's starting to think that Gold Coast is not going to make the final, so that could be the key to the last game.
Who's saying that? Not everyone said that. Only Manny.
Oh, Manny, sorry. Well, I'll go on Manny's call.
Yeah, but he's right, though. He knows what he's talking about.
That could be the deciding moment at the end of the year that Essendon has to play Gold Coast on the last game, and we'll beat them, and we'll just make the 8. But we have to beat Carlton this week. That's the key.
Right.
Mark my words, guys.
If Carlton beat Essendon, I guarantee, this is my second big call. If Carlton beat Essendon, we will still not make the 8.
Rocco, if you don't beat Essendon, what's the bet?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, shave the goatee.
No, I won't shave my fucking beard, man. This is what I do, man. The women love it.
Here we go.
What do you mean the women love it?
The women love it.
You're a married man.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with it? I'm not married, first of all, but what's that got to do with it, right?
But you're in a relationship. It's not about it's either your woman loves it. Don't worry about the women.
Yeah, but
what are you?
Wait a sec. Other people can love it.
Yeah, but what are you all of a sudden? Are you a Casanova now? Are you, Mr. Valentino?
No, I said the women love it. I didn't say anything. I was going to do or anything. I just said they love it.
Well, we know Rocco.
It's not important. What's important if it's your missus that loves it? You don't want to shave it off. That's fine. That's fine.
We know Rocco's not going to wear the colours, yeah. So that's regardless. No. Why did you jump onto the Essendon fan cams then, Rocco?
I'm the only one that's got the balls. When I lost a bet, I shaved my head. I had the balls. That's it. The rest of you can talk as much as you like, but you know what?
What are you talking about? I went inside the ocean. I went inside the ocean with my job.
Right, yeah, you tried. You did. I take that back, Rocco.
Bravo,
Marco.
Yes.
Marco.
Mark barely sung the song. Do you remember?
I will.
Yeah,
I know he barely sang it. I would go, but I don't think I'll make it back, Mark. By the time I get back from the game, like I don't know if I'll make it back on there. Fuck it. You know what?
No.
Think about it.
I'll sing the song.
You'll sing the song.
Yeah.
Hold into
Big
it.
call. Richmond finished.
Put that on the board.
I'll sing the song.
I reckon it should be something visual, like Mark breaking half a dozen eggs on your head.
Like Bucky.
Like Bucky did.
Yeah.
All right, we could work something out. We've only got a couple of days to do that, Rocco, because it's on a Sunday night.
Hey, eggs are scarce. Eggs are scarce right now.
Eggs will cost me like $500 to do that job.
Yeah, that's an expensive loss, mate.
That's an expensive loss.
What about an ice bucket challenge? Why don't you just jump into an ice bucket? No,
we could, but I'm gonna get the eyes. It's a pain in the fucking ass, mate. Like seriously. No, I reckon the song will do.
Okay, all right. Let's lock that in.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass if you get a Greek coming over.
So the win, you sing the song. Carlton win. I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right, done.
I don't even know.
And you have to sing the song.
and 42 points. If we win by 42 or more, not only you wear it, you got to sing the song while wearing it. If we win by more than 42 or 42 more.
All right,
42
spot on.
and a half.
Mark's putting his balls on it. Oh,
Huh?
we win
I
by
like this.
50.
I like this, boys.
Oh, we win
I
by
wanna see it.
50.
All right. It's been a long week for me. I've just worked it out. 24 plus 4. Fuck, this is 3.5 for the 28. 31 and a half hours on air for me.
Wow.
No one can say I'm not committed.
I'm heading off, guys.
Yeah,
You're
we're all
gonna
going to
fly
head
from
off.
here. You're gonna fly from here to Italy and back again, and then to Perth. Wow.
100%. Thanks for everyone
Wow.
for jumping on. All the chats, we all love it. It's without you guys, it wouldn't be as fun as it is. So make sure you keep on, like, share, subscribe, do all the malakias. Make sure you push the little bloody bell thing there so we get the notifications. Share it, tell people about it. Yeah, we'll try to be as serious and as stupid as we can possibly be every week. So hopefully you had a bit of fun, man. And that's it.
That's it.
Let's finish it off the way we always do it.
Good luck to your teams.
Nah, fuck yous. I hope yous really get hurt. I hope yous all come out with injuries, pain, like fines, everything. Nah, no injuries. I'll take that back. No injuries, but losses, pains, and fines. I think what's happened to Seba? He's done. Look at him. I thought he was just looking. He's just frozen.
Nah, he's
He's done. All right, all right, guys. No, seriously, I hope it's all pain and misery for you. Go the mighty Blues.
Go the Bombers. Come on.
good.
Get in there, mate.